Live from Fenway Park in Boston, NESN presents exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the Red Sox take on the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball, the middle game of the three-game series between the Red Sox and Indians. The Red Sox have lost 4 straight, and as they have so many times before, look to the stopper, Pedro Martinez.
Every start that seems like Pedro makes in this first half of the season, people have their fingers crossed, and at times even Pedro himself. But when you look at the numbers for Pedro, it is remarkable. I mean, here he is with 110 strikeouts. That's second best in the league. Only Roger Clemens leads with 113. The .210 batting average against Derek Lowe is a little bit better in that category, and a 2.92 ERA, which is coming down, is now 4th best in the American League. Against the Cleveland Indians in his career, 7-1, and this Cleveland team he's going to be facing tonight, not quite as strong as other Cleveland teams he's faced in the past. But, you know, even though he is not that at 100% done, it's been an outstanding first half for Pedro Martinez, and everybody expects him to be even better in the second half.
Well, he's off a terrific outing last time out against the San Diego Padres, and tonight he'll go up against Ryan Drease, who gets to start tonight on this hot night from Fenway against the Cleveland Indians. We'll have it for you next. Exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares, and by Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time. And good evening, everybody. Welcome to steamy Fenway Park tonight, where the Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians get ready for Game 2 of a 3-game series. Let's take a look at the visiting Cleveland Indians starting lineup. Chris Magruder at the top of the lineup is in right field leading off. Holbert Cabrera bats second at second base. Alex Burks is the DH. Jim Thome at first base, 20 home runs, second in the American League. Former Red Sox outfielder Bill Selby at third base. It is Milton Bradley in center field. Ben Broussard in left field bats seventh. Einar Diaz does the catching. And John McDonald's at shortstop batting ninth.
The defense tonight for the Red Sox, Shea Hillenbrand will be at third base. Nomar Garciaparra the shortstop. Carlos Baerga at second and Jose Offerman at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, and Trot Nixon. Jason Varitek behind the plate, and on the mound, Pedro Martinez. Start number 16 for Pedro. 8-2, his 8th win coming in his last start against San Diego. 8 innings in that ball game, a couple of hits, no runs, and 11 strikeouts. That's one below his season high of 12. He did that against Seattle back in early May. Against Cleveland, 7-1 in his career. That's 11 starts with a 1.61 ERA, and a lot of different names and faces in this lineup tonight than what Pedro's accustomed to facing from the Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians are 36-40 heading into tonight's action. They're 6.5 games behind Minnesota in the AL Century. Chicago between the Indians and the Minnesota Twins in second place. Pedro's ready, and the first pitch of the ball game in there for a strike. Chris Magruder, the right fielder for the Indians, at .218, 2 homers, and 10 runs batted in. In on the grass at third is Hillenbrand as the pitch misses, 1-1. 88 degrees at Fenway Park tonight. Much of the day spent in the low 90s in the Boston area, but 88 degrees to begin the ball game tonight. Magruder baffled on that pitch, 1-2.
Hot, steamy, muggy night here at Fenway Park.
I think we missed spring in Boston. We went from winter pretty much right into summer. Not much in between. The 1-2, and it's low. 2-2 the count. You may remember that in Pedro's last outing, he began his outing by striking out the first 5 San Diego Padres. And finished his outing by retiring the last 17 Padres in order. This is off the glove of Offerman and into right field. And a tough, hard hop. And aboard at first base is Chris Magruder.
Let's take a look at tonight's game notes, brought to you by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Pedro Martinez retired the final 17 batters he faced in his last start against the Padres. The Indians, a .239 team batting average. That's the lowest in the American League. And the Indians 9-1 this season against the American League East.
Here is Holbert Cabrera, who's had a miserable season against right-handed pitching. He's 1 for 36 against right-handers at .028 in the season. His batting average At just 111, no homers, 6 runs batted in. Second stint this season with the Indians after being recalled from the Buffalo Bisons on June 16th. Initially had been activated May 2nd from the DL and then was optioned to Buffalo on June 4th before returning here to the big leagues. Actually suffered a gunshot wound in his, well, they listed as his right buttocks in December, as this is grounded outside at third and foul.
Yeah, that was back in his home in Colombia. He was on the disabled list at the start of spring training with that injury. A couple of key names out of the lineup tonight, Vizquel and Travis Fryman. Vizquel last night diving for a ball, looked like he might have hurt his shoulder, and that may be the reason he's out of the lineup tonight.
One and one to Holbert Cabrera. Chris Magruder at first base, being held on by Offerman. They ruled that a hit, incidentally, as Cabrera goes lunging and is down to the count 1-2. Yeah, the gunshot wound did take place in his hometown of Cartagena, Colombia. He's appeared in 30 games with the Indians. Here's Magruder at first as Pedro works from the stretch. The 1-2. Fouled off. Baratek and back towards the screen. Still 1-2. The Indians are 6.5 games back of the Minnesota Twins in the AL Central. The Red Sox, of course, a half game back of the New York Yankees. The Yankees are taking on the Orioles tonight in Baltimore. We'll keep a close eye on that. Roger Clemens against Rodrigo Lopez. Clemens 8-3, while Rodrigo Lopez, who goes for the O's, 6-3. The game in Baltimore tonight. The 1-2 again. He struck him out. First strikeout of the night for Pedro Martinez. 1 down.
It'll cut fastball that time from Pedro at about 87 miles an hour to pick up the strikeout. Watch at the end. Almost acts like a slider. It's not a slider. It's the cut fastball.
The designated hitter, Ellis Burr.
You mentioned Rodrigo Lopez pitching tonight against the Yankees. He's third in the league in ERA behind Derek Lowe and Bartolo Colon. Lopez at 2.70 ahead of Pedro in that category.
And you may remember his first start of the year was against the Red Sox. He had just been placed into the rotation early on in the season. And it has been a move that has paid big dividends for Mike Hargrove, and almost picked off at first was Magruder. Offerman thought he had him.
Good quick feed here by Pedro, and plenty on the throw, and a very close play at first base. Tag may be a little bit high, and the fingers getting back to the bag. Wow, that was very close.
Ellis Burks, the hitter, with a runner at first and 1 down in the top of the first inning. In the air, stroke well to left. Back goes Ramirez looking up, and that is gone into the screen. Ellis Burks returning to Fenway Park. It's a 2-run home run. It's his 12th of the year. And the Indians, much like last night, out to the early lead on top 2-0.
Ellis Burks is now 3 for 5 in his career against Pedro Martinez. All 3 hits have been home runs. Once again, it's the cut fastball from Pedro. It stays up in the zone, and Burks finds that left field net. Ellis with his 12th home run of the season, his 37th and 38th RBI.
Here's Jim Thome, who you certainly think about home runs every time he comes to the plate. He's got 20 on the season. His home run total only second to A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez with 22 on the season for the Texas Rangers. And a lot of talk, of course, about the possibility of Thome coming to Boston. Red Sox fans would certainly love to see him at first base. He does have a no-trade clause, but as it has been well documented, he's very good friends with Grady Little. And you would think that given the option of a trade someplace, that this would be one of the spots, knowing Grady as well as he does. And the Indians have been dropping their payroll and would be a free agent. Strike three. Good sequence for Pedro Martinez. His second K of the night. 2 down.
Pedro going outside corner with the cross seam fastball to pick up the strikeout. Nasty pitch right on the corner and beautifully framed there by Jason Varitek. That's the 76th time that Jim Thome has struck out on the season. Puts him third in the league in that category. Always a high total of strikeouts, but also a high total of home runs for Thome.
Here's former Red Sox utility player Bill Selby. He returns to the major leagues. Selby had just 182 with 2 RBIs. Member of the Red Sox in 1996. Grew up in Mississippi, and the first major league game that Bill Selby ever saw was his major league debut. And it was for the Red Sox against the team that he now plays for, the Cleveland Indians. Look out. Wow, that almost took out a few in the front of the Red Sox dugout. Lou Merlone, a former teammate of Bill Selby's, up through the Red Sox system. The 1-2 pitch fouled off the left side. Selby really came up with both Lou Merlone and Nomar Garciaparra. He was the third baseman in that infield in Double-A Trenton. And Lou at second and Nomar at short. Pedro strikes out the side as Varitek applies the tag, but a 2-run home run for Ellis Burks as the Indians on top 2-0. Ellis Burks with a 2-run home run in the first inning has the Indians on top 2-0. Let's take a look at the Red Sox starting lineup tonight as they face Ryan Drease. Johnny Damon at the top of the order. Carlos Baerga, who settled in nicely to that 2 spot. Bat second. Nomar Garciaparra at shortstop. Manny Ramirez in left in the cleanup spot. Shea Hillenbrand at 398 over the last 9 games. Varitek does the catching with Brian Daubach as the DH tonight, batting 7th. Trot Nixon in right, and Jose Offerman bats 9th and plays at first base.
Quickly, the defense for the Indians. Bill Selby at third base. John McDonald the shortstop. Holbert Cabrera at second, and Jim Thome at first. Prasad, Bradley, and Magruder in the outfield. Leonard Diaz behind the plate, and Ryan Drease doing the pitching. He leads all American League rookies with 7 wins and 63 strikeouts.
And the first pitch into Johnny Damon, a strike. Johnny at 324, 6 homers and 35 runs batted in. Currently 4th in the American League in hitting. Sends it out towards Cabrera at second base. Gets the big hop, and Damon's out number 1.
Ryan Drease actually made the starting rotation out of spring training, the number 5 spot in this rotation for the Indians. You see the numbers of 7 and 5, 5.47 ERA. Grady Little talking about him prior to the game tonight. Throws a lot of pitches. The fastball, curve, slider, changeup. Very confident young man. He did pitch once last year against the Red Sox in relief here at Fenway Park. Pitched 4 innings against Boston.
Grady kind of called him cocky, but made it a good cocky, saying that very confident pitcher and the cockiness he will need to be successful at the major league level. Listed his best pitch as a slider from Ryan Drease. Fouled at the plate. Baerga with a count of 1-1. Grady also talking about the fact that he's very happy with Carlos Baerga in the number 2 spot. He really gets cheated in his at-bats. Red Sox looking to snap what is a 4-game losing streak heading into tonight's action. And of course, Pedro Martinez acting as a stopper again. Baerga sends it back up the middle into center field. Red Sox have their first hit of the night.
I think the way Grady put it this afternoon, quality at bats is what Baerga gives him out of the 2nd spot in the batting order. Always a tough at bat for the pitcher. Takes some pitches, foul pitches off. Got the breaking ball that time and right up the middle for the base hit. 3-game hitting streak now for Baerga.
Here's Nomar Garciaparra. 312, 9 homers, 58 runs batted in. Red Sox dealing with a 2-run deficit as they bat here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Nomar chops it outside of third and foul. Nomar talking to the print media and broadcast media before the game about the fact that he is fine and that some things have been made about his left wrist. He just had a precautionary MRI and that everything is okay. It's like all the other nagging injuries you kind of play with during the course of the season. And really not anything to worry about. And the sore wrist is his left wrist. Of course, the surgery taking place on his right wrist that kept him out for the bulk of last season. Runner takes off at first base. Baerga got an incredible jump and steals second base uncontested and then some.
Well, he's done that about 3 times this season. He's got 5 steals now, and I bet 3 of them are like this. He gets this running lead, and he's gone before that pitcher even delivers the ball to home plate. He must sit there and time the move and figures that he can go at that perfect time. And fortunately for Baerga, no pitcher has stepped off yet on him. He's either getting great jumps or he's real lucky.
Carlos is in scoring position with 1 out. Nomar in the hole, 1 and 2. Drease with a long look at Baerga now. Spirals off the backside, bluffing. He wants to see the catcher, Einar Diaz, now as he waves him out to the mound.
Now that certainly got his attention, that stolen base with Baerga in that running lead.
Here's Charlie Manuel in his 3rd season at the helm for the Cleveland Indians. Charlie having various health problems over the last few years, and in fact his bench coach Grady Little had to be the interim manager while he was away, but back this season in his 3rd year, and he brings in a team that is 4 games under 500 right now, 36 and 40, and really can be proud of that with the number of changes that the Indians have had this season. The 1-2. Nomar fouls it off the foot.
That's that slider, Don, you were talking about. Looks like a good one, and Garciaparra just fouling it off, and a very painful foul ball.
Long look at Baerga once, twice, and the 1-2 backs Nomar out. 2 and 2.
Look at fastball. That fastball 93 miles an hour.
th appearance of the year for Drease. A high earned run average of 5.47, but a winning record of 7 and 5. The starting pitching this year has been very good. This is on the ground to 3rd. A look at second. Baerga goes back. The long throw is in time to get Nomar from Bill Selby. 2 down. Baerga was a good distance off the bag, and it looked as if Selby gave some thought to throwing to second base.
Carlos is living dangerously out there. Watch how far he gets trapped. And Selby maybe was blocked by Baerga, and he couldn't see the second baseman. Didn't make the throw, and then finally get Nomar at first base.
Manny in at 364, 9 homers and 35 runs driven in.
Can you name that tune they were playing when Manny got up?
That must be new Manny music as he comes to the plate. You know, that happens a lot in the minor leagues where players are able to request their favorite song as they come to the plate. And Manny's got new music as he steps in there. You should have Remy music when you step into the booth. You just select your own music. Manny 1 for 5 yesterday, a 9-game hitting streak, and of course that counts even though he was gone since May the 11th. Missed 39 games and then played in 10 games for the Pawtucket Red Sox. Was 3 for 30 during that time in Pawtucket. Baerga gets second, 2 down in the 1st inning. Ramirez fights it off foul. 1 and 2 now to Manny. Manny made no bones about it that he's still not 100% last night after the game. He told a few reporters saying that he's 80%, maybe 70%, maybe 75%, but it is clear that Manny does not feel that he is 100%. Drease gets the sign. A look out at second base. The 1-2 is in the dirt. And it's 2-2 to Ramirez. And he is 15 home runs shy of 300 in his career. This season with 9 before the injury that took place on May the 11th. Drease with the 2-2. Ramirez takes it low and away. Full count now to Manny. Shea Hillenbrand waits on deck. Baerga with his lead off second. The payoff pitch is on the ground towards Cabrera at second base. Throws out Ramirez, and that'll do it. The Red Sox leave a man in scoring position. We're done with one from Fenway. Cleveland on top 2-0.
Leaders around baseball brought to you by New England Ford dealers. Ichiro is dropping a little bit at 363. Mike Sweeney 358. Paul Konerko, Johnny Damon, and Soriano the top 5 in the American League. In the National League, Bonds at 354. Todd Helton second. Larry Walker also of Colorado, and 2 Marlins, Castillo and Lowell, the top 5 in the National League.
A lot going on out there in center field.
I accept the nomination.
Oh, now you're accepting the nomination.
Yes, cleaned up the closet.
I was going to say, I thought there's too many skeletons in the closet for you to stage that kind of campaign. Milton Bradley, the former Montreal Expos prospect, stands in. Bradley at .246, 3 homers and 11 runs driven in so far in the season. The Yankees have a 2-1 lead tonight over the Orioles. Gary Matthews Jr. has hit a solo home run in the first inning for the Orioles off Roger Clemens, but the Yankees with the 2-1 edge. As Bradley fouls it off over in the direction of the Red Sox dugout. Pedro Martinez, for the 12th time this season, struck out the side in the first inning. And unfortunately for Pedro, a 2-run home run by Ellis Burks mixed in, as the Indians on top 2-0. He makes quick work of Milton Bradley. He closed the first with back-to-back Ks of Tomey and Selby. He opens the second with a strikeout of Milton Bradley.
Change up for Pedro, picking up the strikeout, his 4th of the game.
Number 28, the left fielder.
You see that ball dipping down and away from Bradley, the left-handed hitter. That home run that Pedro allowed was the 7th of the season against Martinez.
Here's Ben Brassard, who on a check swing fouls it back to the backstop. Brassard was recalled from the Buffalo Bisons on June 22nd when Todd Dunwoody was placed on the DL. Came over from the Reds in a deal that involved Russell Branyan, who was either homering or striking out, one or the other, for the Cleveland Indians. Enormous strikeout totals for Russell Branyan. This is in the air to center field. Johnny Damon has it sized up. 2 down in the second inning.
It's interesting. I noticed last night that Brassard, who came over for Branyan, same kind of swing. They both have that slight uppercut swing. Brassard struck out a couple of times in the game last night. Makes contact there, but straightaway center field, and an easy play for Johnny Damon.
Russell Branyan always kind of struck me as a guy who was all or nothing.
Yeah,
home
I guess
run,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Well, now he's all or nothing for the Cincinnati Reds as he was traded away. Here's the catcher, Einar Diaz. Used to be the backup catcher for Sandy Alomar Jr. And then when Alomar left, Einar Diaz became the everyday catcher. That's 8th in the order at .216 with 2 homers and 12 runs batted in. Diaz was 0 for 4 here last night, and against right-handers under 200 on the season at 199. his last 35 games, Diaz hitting at just 170 for the Cleveland Indians. The 3-1 to Diaz is popped up into shallow center field. Carlos Baerga behind second base makes the catch to retire the side. Pedro has a 1-2-3 second inning. We're through an inning and a half from Fenway. 2-0 Indians. Exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Citizens Bank, not your typical bank. By New England Ford. Ford is leading the way with the best-selling cars and trucks. Log on to newenglandford.com for details. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold down easy. There's some fans from Vermont here tonight.
Fred and Ron. It's like Daryl and Daryl, you know, the brothers.
Daryl and his other brother Daryl. And in the last of the second inning, Red Sox down 2-0. Shea Hillenbrand, Jason Varitek, and Brian Daubach featured here in the bottom of the second. Shea at .317, 13 homers and 49 runs batted in. Hillenbrand 8th in the American League at .317. Ichiro leading the pack, but he is dipped down a little bit. He's down to .363. Earlier he had been flirting with the 400 mark, but Ichiro at .363 atop the American League in hitting. Red Sox have 3 hitters in the top 10. Johnny Damon at .324. Shea Hillenbrand at .317 and Nomar at .312 heading into tonight's action. Popped up into shallow right field. Cabrera ranging way out to right. Magruder coming in. Easier play for the Indians right fielder. 1 down.
Ryan Drease a couple of years ago, the year 2000, basically missed the whole season. He tore up his ACL, which really means you blew your knee out. And he came back. He was running the bases, I guess, and he hit the first base back the wrong way, and the thing blew out again. So he missed the entire season. Also, when he was in college, or I'm not sure college or high school, one of the two, but he had a knee injury, elbow injury.
Varitek taking the strike. Jason doing the catching. Jason at .263, 5 homers and 27 runs batted in. He's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Ryan Drease selected by the Indians in the 5th round in 1998. So that being said, he has quickly gotten to the major leagues. Last year, his first season in the bigs. Made 9 appearances and was 1-2 for the Cleveland Indians last year. Ended up at 3 different levels in the Indians organization: AA Akron, AAA Buffalo, and then finished up the year in Cleveland. Soft ground ball down the first baseline that'll go foul. Drease is pretty good size. He is 6'3", 220 pounds. The whole repertoire of pitches, as we mentioned, the best pitch he has, a slider. Then at the University of California, Berkeley, pitched 4 years for the Golden Bears as he strikes out Jason Varitek. First strikeout of the night for Ryan Drease, 2 down.
He had a 10 strikeout game earlier in the season against Kansas City. That's his season high. That was in 8 innings of work back on May the 18th. Had 8 strikeouts in his last outing against the Florida Marlins. I think that game was eventually called because of rain.
There's Brian Daubach being used as a DH tonight. Brian taking strike 1. 9 homers and 31 runs driven in for Daubach on the season. Brian stayed in the game after pinch hitting last night in the 8th inning. He was 0 for 1. He has 15 hits in his last 92 at bats, 163. His batting average since May the 22nd as he's down in the count 1-2.
Dahlbach hit that ball hard last night with the bases loaded, but right at Jim Thome, the first baseman. They turned it into a double play, and of course that was a key play in the ball game. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Red Sox couldn't score.
Down and in, 2-2 now to Dahlbach. A little situation where the Red Sox had plenty of opportunities to score last night, and they were cashing in on those opportunities earlier in the season, but have gone through a bit of a stretch where they've not been able to cash in. And the 2-2. Up and in. Did it get him? Apparently did. Dahlbach will make his way down to first base. Hit batsman with 2 down in the inning.
Third hit batter of the season for Drease, just barely getting a piece of Dahlbach. Maybe just a piece of that uniform, although on replay you got to wonder, maybe it got that D on the red.
If you're going to get hit, that's the way to do it. So Bryan's at first. Drease will pitch from the stretch. Trot Nixon. 247, 7 homers, 27 runs batted in. In the dirt, ball 1 to Nixon. Nixon a perfect 2 for 2 against Drease with a home run. Trot was 1 for 3 to begin the series. And has 10 hits in his last 27 at bats, starting to show signs of coming out of a bit of a slump. Nixon hitting at 370 over his last 27 at bats. The outfield plays Nixon straight away. Thome holding on Dahlbach at first with 2 down. Nixon with a big cut, 2-1.
These are quite the lids they just brought in for us. This is must be Coke night here at the ballpark.
It's terrific.
This propeller here will fly away. Look at that. Ooh.
Very nice. Do you wear this anywhere but right now?
They're promoting vanilla Coke. Of course, the Coke bottles up on the above the left field wall, they've been changed since we got back. They have a vanilla Coke there now in the middle. Cherry Coke. I don't know what the other one is. It must be just regular Coke, I would think. They're a little bit different color. Nice lid, though. See.
In the air to the left. Broussard heading back. He's got it sized up on the dirt of the track. He brings it in to retire the side. Nixon gives it a ride. The Red Sox leave a man. We've played 2 from Fenway. 2-0 Cleveland.
Hood is rooting for the Red Sox and kids throughout New England. Each time the Red Sox strike out an opponent, make a double play, or hit a home run at Fenway, Hood donates $100 to the Hood Home Team Advantage Fund. So far, more than $29,000 has been raised for children's hospitals all over New England.
Wow. Do they vote for those kind of things? John McDonald, the former Providence College standout, to lead it off for the Cleveland Indians. McDonald at 278, no homers, 6 runs batted in. And he'll send it down the right field line towards Pesky's pole and foul down beyond it.
Got Kevin Shea in the booth. He enjoys the new lid that came out tonight here at the ballpark, the Coke hat.
It's a terrific look.
Yeah.
And it fits so well. John McDonald in the lineup tonight with Omar Vizquel out. As it is now 2-1 to John McDonald.
Just
comfortable.
I think Jim Corsi's got his on too.
Jim Corsi has his lid on. Oh, it looks great on Big Jim. Back to Martinez. Pedro spears it and throws out McDonald. 1-3 on the put out. Now 6 in a row retired by Pedro Martinez.
Is that a helicopter sound I heard?
Yes. And of course, he spun it around and made that sound.
Number 30, the right fielder.
There's Jim.
Chris.
See, we look ridiculous. Jim looks like that hat was made for him.
He just now stopped sweating from the pregame show.
Oh, I lost my lid. This is terrible. And the strike to Chris Magruder, who singled to right field his first time. Oh, 1-1 to Magruder. Pedro missing high and inside. 2-1. Pedro has struck out 4 through the first 2 1/3 innings. Giving up 2 hits, a leadoff single to Magruder, who bats for the second time, then the 2-run home run by Ellis Burks. In there for the strike, and it's now 2-2.
Magruder called up to the big leagues when the Indians released Brady Anderson. Anderson did not produce for the Indians, very similar to what he did last year with the Orioles. Took a shot on it, didn't work out.
Brady Anderson has had a couple of very difficult years. Amazing, he had the 50-plus home run season in 1996. So this twisted his way foul down the left field line, but really since then, Anderson, his numbers declining quickly over the years. Good news from Baltimore. The Orioles have taken a 3-2 lead over the Yankees. Jake Gibbons has hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning. They're just in the second inning, and Baltimore has a 3-2 lead over New York. Here the Indians on top 2-0 as Pedro working to Chris Magruder with 1 out. And the 2-2. Popped up. Nomar back astride on the outfield grass. Takes care of it. 2 down.
Is there some reason you're standing behind us? With that hat on?
Yeah, I enjoy the look up close. From far on TV, it was not as good as it is up close. I mean, it fits perfect. Look how well this fits. It's even tight.
That's nice. Yeah, you look good. Yeah, you look good.
Yeah. That's terrific. Cabrera struck out his first time. In there for the strike, and it's 1-1 to Cabrera. Robert Cabrera, the brother of Orlando Cabrera, who spent time in the major leagues. This is sent towards right center. Damon's on the run, going full bore. He'll make the catch. Wow. A spectacular catch from Johnny Damon into right center field. NESN's exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work. By Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. And by your New England Chrysler dealers. Chrysler, drive equals love. Well, certainly one of the reasons the Red Sox acquired that man is fine defensive play and a great effort this last half inning.
Oh, you don't see any better than this. I mean, if this is not a web gem and a winner, I don't know what's going to be. Damon has had some sensational catches in the first 2 games of this series, and you can't make a better play than that. It gets by him. It's rolling a 420 and probably a triple. And the guy that makes the great catch always hits second the next inning.
Jose Offerman to lead it off, batting for the first time tonight. Jose batting ninth. 223, 4 homers, and 21 runs batted in. And Offerman takes the strike, 1-1. Offerman pinch hitting in the ninth last night, 0 for 1. Has just 17 hits in his last 103 at bats. Over the last 32 games, Jose has hit at 165. And the strike to Offerman, 2-2. Ryan Drease trying to win his 8th game of the year, coming in at 7-5. The Indians as a club, a 4.46 earned run average, pretty much smack dab in the middle of the pack. The Red Sox with a 3.68 earned run average, still leading the American League in that category. Gritty Little met with all the pitchers today, really to congratulate them on what has been a terrific first half. As Offerman strikes out, second K for Drease, 1 down.
Well, you can see what the Cleveland people and Grady Little was talking about this afternoon. This kid does have confidence, and he's got good stuff. Good breaking ball there to pick up the strikeout. He does not seem to be intimidated by the major leagues.
He's at 26 years old as he goes after Johnny Damon. Last year with the Indians in 9 games was 1-2. Made 4 starts, 5 appearances out of the Cleveland bullpen. Damon bounced out to second base his first time up. Right stuff up and in at 93 miles per hour. 2-1 now to Damon. Carlos Baerga waits on deck. On the ground, McDonald ranges around second base, gets rid of it quickly and in time to get Damon. John McDonald, a very, very good defensive middle infielder, and he was really stuck at the AAA level for the Cleveland Indians with both Roberto Alomar here and Omar Vizquel, but he's finally at the big league level.
He looked a little bit like Vizquel making that play. A lot of range to his left, a very quick release, making the throw on the run. That's the way Omar makes him.
I had the chance to see him a lot at the AAA level, and you could tell that defensively he was certainly a major league caliber player. But when you have the likes of Omar Vizquel and Roberto Alomar ahead of you, odds are you're going to be waiting a little while. And it took really Roberto Alomar to leave.
Now, Vizquel's only won 9 Gold Gloves.
I mean, in the air to left off the bat of Baerga. Brassard ranging back shy of the track. That'll do it in the third. A 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Drease, who played 3 from Fenway. 2-0 Cleveland. It's all about the beer. Heineken. And by Applebee's. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's.
The designated hitter.
Through the first 3, the Indians on top 2-0. A 2-run home run by Ellis Burks. The difference in the game. Burks leads it off. As we head into the top of the 4th, the home run for Ellis is 12th of the season. Up into the screen and left. Certainly Burks, one of the holdovers of what used to be the Cleveland Indians. They come into Fenway and into the season with a very different looking lineup than you're used to for the Cleveland Indians. Two of the big names, Juan Gonzalez, Roberto Alomar, Kenny Lofton. It's a very different looking Cleveland Indians unit, and as a result, Burks batting 3rd now in the Indians order. Ellis, 37 years old. The last a member of the Red Sox in 1992. In there for the strike, 2-2. You coached him at the AA level, did you?
Ellis Burks, yes, back in 1988, I believe it was. 87, maybe. No, it was 86.
You were there, right?
It was 86. It was definitely 86, the year the Red Sox went to the World Series. Well, it's a cut fastball that Burks hit for a home run in his first at bat. He didn't see one this time. That's the curveball from Pedro. Pick up the strikeout. On that particular team, they had Ellis Burks, of course, got to the big leagues. Terrific career. Jody Reed got to the big leagues. Sam Horn got to the big leagues. John Marzano got to the big leagues. So there are a number of guys that were at New Britain that year.
The old Beehive Stadium, which
I'll tell you who else was on that team. Jim Corsi was on that team. Yeah, they released him at the end of the year and then eventually ended up also in the big leagues. But yeah, there are quite a few guys that had pretty decent careers.
And you were the hitting coach there at the time?
No, there was no such thing. Just a coach.
Just a coach. Jim Thome struck out in the first inning. Pedro with 5 strikeouts. He's retired 9 Indians in a row since Ellis Burks hit the 2-run home run in the first inning. In the dirt, 1-2. Remember Beehive as being an enormous yard and very difficult to hit a home run out of.
Another guy in that club was DeMarlo Hale. He's now a coach in the big leagues. Was in the Red Sox organization for a while. Is now a coach with the Texas Rangers. He was a third baseman on that club.
Some of the home run numbers there were always kind of tilted. You see guys with big home run numbers, and they play at the Beehive, and the home run numbers were minimal.
You know what, though? It was a good place to learn how to play the game of baseball. You couldn't rely on home runs to win games. You had to do the little things. Play that National League style baseball there. And it's a good ballpark to learn in, but for guys that had power, it was no fun playing there.
Old Jeff Bagwell hit only 4 home runs there one year. I think, did Mo Vaughn come through there as well? He might have. I don't think his numbers were very good there as well. This is hit a ton to right field. Nixon is headed back. Front of the track at the wall. It is gone. Home run number 21 for Jim Thome. He's now a home run in behind A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez leading the league, and Thome second. The solo shot is 21st of the year as the Indians on top 3-0.
Both home runs in this game off Pedro have been on the same pitch, the cut fastball. Brooks got a cutter for a home run, and the same thing here with Thome. Pedro wanted to go more inside with that pitch, left it on the inside part of the plate, and Thome hits number 21.
The 8th home run given up by Pedro Martinez this season, as Bill Selby, the strikeout victim his first time, takes ball 1.
Thome just looks like a power hitter, doesn't he?
It does. Selby with a half-hearted swing, 1-1.
Big, strong guy, big swing. Lets it loose on every single pitch.
On the ground outside of first, 1-2. Bill Selby, a member of the Red Sox back in 1996. Then he went to Japan for a year. Went for the Yokohama Bay Stars. Then has been in the Cleveland organization since returning to the States in 1998. And it evens out at 2-2 to Selby. Strike 3 to Selby. Strikeout number 6 for Pedro Martinez. 2 down. Time now for our Aflac trivia question.
Whack, whack.
Which Major League team was the first to wear uniform numbers? The answer for you in the next half inning. Two down. Here's Milton Bradley, who struck out swinging his first time. Pedro now has 6 strikeouts. Pedro at one point had retired 9 Cleveland Indians in a row before the solo home run by Jim Thome. And a big cut for Milton Bradley. Bradley is still just 24 years old. Slashes it foul back to the backstop. 93 miles per hour that time. 0-2.
Back-to-back fastballs, probably the two best that Pedro's thrown in the game. One at 93, one at 94.
A little bit low to Bradley. Bradley, originally a Montreal Expos second-round pick in 1996. Came to the Cleveland Indians from the Expos in exchange for Zach Day. The trade deadline of last season. Slices it foul, back and out of play. Last year was the starting center fielder for Montreal on opening day, but he scuffled through April, hitting just 200. And at one point was sent back to AAA Ottawa before the trade to Cleveland. Evens up at 2-2. A little number in behind the plate. Still 2-2 to Milton Bradley.
Oh, did you see where Bonds and Jeff Kent had it in the dugout last night?
I understand that is not the first time the two have disagreed on a couple of different subjects. Two pretty fiery players. But you don't often see that for the TV cameras viewing. Just missing. Pedro thought he had it. It was framed by Veritek, and it's a full count.
Two pitches missing back. Pedro thought he had for strikes. This last would hear the fastball, and then he also a curveball earlier.
Fouled off the left side. I'm sure a lot of tussles like that take place out of the viewership of many and in the clubhouses, I imagine.
Yeah, there have been some in clubhouses, some on buses, some on airplanes, some in restaurants.
Have you been involved in any of these scuffles?
Always the peacemaker, Don.
You're a lover, not a fighter?
There's not a lot of them. I mean, you know, you maybe see a handful of them throughout the course of your career.
On the ground towards Baerga. Takes the tough hop and throws out Bradley to retire the side. The Indians get another run on the solo home run from Jim Thome. 3.5 done. 3-0 Cleveland. And Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park. The Red Sox trailing 3-0. Cleveland getting to Pedro Martinez in the first inning after a leadoff base hit by Magruder. Ellis Burks with his 12th home run of the year into the screen and left. But the Indians on top 2-0. They'd had a home run last inning from Jim Thome in the top of the 4th inning. Baerga with a single and a stolen base. Drease 3 shutout innings, giving up just 1 hit so far for the Indians. Pedro has given up 3 runs, 2 home runs on 3 hits. He has struck out 6 and walked no one, but the Red Sox down 3-0 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nomar Garciaparra, Manny Ramirez, and Shea Hillenbrand to face Ryan Drease. The second time that this trio has had a chance to face the right-hander. Nomar pops it up foul off first. Jim Thome moving over to the Boston dugout, makes the catch. Had another step or so in which to deal with, but made the catch kind of leaning towards the dugout. And Nomar retired on the foul out.
Thome going toward unfriendly territory in that Red Sox dugout, but a nice job as he get right to take a peek right there. Knows he's got a little more room to go and reaches out, makes the catch. Every time I see that play, I think of the one in Anaheim where Mo Vaughn went tumbling down the dugout steps and ended up missing really the whole year because of that, almost the whole season.
Is that his first game, if I'm not mistaken?
With the Angels, yeah.
I mean, it just got off to a very bad start there in Anaheim for Mo, and of course he's now with the New York Mets. And if you're looking for, this is chopped towards the shortstop. McDonald from back to second throws out Manny. 2 pitches and 2 outs quickly in the inning. Time now for the Aflac trivia question and answer. Which major league team was the first? And the answer, the Cleveland Indians. June 26th of 1916 was the first time. They wore numbers on their sleeves at first against the White Sox. First major league club to do so. And then we did it for that season. 1929, the Yankees were the first team to wear numbers on their backs. The Red Sox and all other American League clubs joined them in 1931.
Red Sox and Yankees also one of the few teams around in baseball that still don't put names on the back of their home uniforms. The Red Sox have it on the road. The Yankees do not.
And for those of you who visit Tigers, I was going to say Tiger Stadium, Comerica Park in Detroit, and there's no number for Ty Cobb. He did not wear a number, so his name is out there in lieu of the number in the retired numbers area. And their first strike, 1-2. Anyway, back to disappointments. The Mets have really been a very big disappointment this year. Not that it's Mo's fault by any stretch of the imagination, but you think of the guys that they went out and got during the offseason: Jeremy Burnitz, Mo Vaughn, good pitching. And they have really struggled this season. The Mets now 7.5 games back of the Braves as that series continues.
Now the Mets spent a lot of money to try to build up that offense, and it just hasn't worked out so far this season.
Yeah.
Alomar's numbers are down. Certainly Mo has not done very much. Jeremy Burnitz.
Down the right field line and out of play. 1-2 to Shea. There are many who are calling for the jobs of both Steve Phillips, the general manager, and Bobby Valentine, the manager. And the Mets are in the midst of a very tough stretch in which they play the Braves, and then they will welcome the Yankees as we get back in interleague play. The 1-2 to Hillenbrand is in the air to left field. Broussard started back now in and over, and that'll do it in the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Drease. Through 4 from Fenway. Indians on top 3-0.
Now batting for Cleveland, number 28, the left fielder.
And so far the offense has had a little R&R. They need to get it going here tonight.
As we get ready for the visiting half of the 5th inning, Red Sox have been held to just 1 hit. And Pedro has held Cleveland to 3 hits. Unfortunately, 2 of the 3 hits have been home runs. Look out. Has grounded back quickly into the seats. Ben Broussard, the hitter, flied out to center field his first time. It's this well to right field, sending Nixon back at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Another home run tonight for the Cleveland Indians, the 3rd of the night. This time Ben Broussard hits his first home run of 2002, and he does it off Pedro Martinez to put the Indians on top 4-0.
First major league home run, and it comes off Pedro Martinez. This is the fastball, not the cut fastball, the straight fastball, and Broussard with that uppercut swing.
Yes.
Puts it over in that Red Sox bullpen. He'll get that souvenir eventually.
Leonard Diaz popped out to second base his first time. So 3 home runs given up tonight by Pedro. He had given up 6 coming into tonight's game on the season, and he's given up 3 tonight. Ellis Burks, Jim Thome, and Ben Broussard on the home runs.
That same life, late life we should call it, that we saw in that fastball in San Diego, not there tonight. 92 miles an hour tonight. In San Diego we had it at times at 94.
You just don't know what to expect from outing to outing. He's thrown 76 pitches in his outing tonight, 4+ innings.
Tonight also a very warm, humid night, easy night to get loose.
Held off the right side, and it's still 2-2 to Leonard Diaz. You think he has turned the corner at times, certainly after that outing in San Diego. He was dominant throughout his performance. And Diaz goes lunging. Strikeout number 7 for Pedro. 1 down.
Diaz, very tough guy to strike out. Only the 19th time this season. Pedro gets him to chase a changeup that really never had the strike zone. But just the fact that it was an off-speed pitch completely fooled Diaz. They had that little confrontation, 2 years ago in Cleveland, and Pedro hit Diaz or threw at him, and Diaz had been kind of lunging over the plate, hit the ball hard a couple of times against Pedro.
John McDonald, who we mentioned, from New London, Connecticut, Providence College graduate and former Providence College standout, along with Lou Merlone. This is line to right center field. Johnny Damon on the run. He'll get there. Into the hook slide to bring it in. Damon putting on a defensive clinic in center field. 2 down.
This one not quite as spectacular as the one earlier in the ball game, but certainly another fine play by Johnny Damon. He's shading slightly toward the opposite field. Again, the excellent jump, and makes the play on McDonald. Be tough to beat the one, though, he made earlier in the ball game off Cabrera.
There's Chris Magruder, the top of the Indians order. Singled and scored in the 1st inning. Pops out to the shortstop in the 3rd inning. Line down the left field line. A foul ball. Not much room to find down there in foul ground, but he did. Magruder 1 for 2 tonight. He has one of only 4 hits for the Indians. He set the table for the 2-run home run for Ellis Burks back in the 1st inning. And the breaking ball in there for strike 3. 8 strikeouts for Pedro Martinez, but a leadoff home run by Ben Broussard as the Indians on top 4-0.
Number 33.
Wow.
The catcher, Jason Barrett.
Wow. We're on down to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-0. The Red Sox dealing with a 4-run deficit, and they are up against a pitcher tonight who's pitched very well in Ryan Drease, giving up just the 1 hit. The second batter that he faced, Carlos Baerga, back in the 1st inning. Otherwise, that's been it. Very impressive so far tonight as he works into the bottom of the 5th inning. The Yankees have jumped ahead of the Orioles again in the top of the 4th inning. New York on top 4-3. Rondell White with a 2-run home run for New York. So they're back in 4th tonight in Baltimore. Seven in a row retired by the Cleveland starter. And Veritek spins away from that offering. 2-1.
Drease also not afraid to pitch inside. He was inside and he hit Daubach early in the ball game. Came inside there against Veritek.
It's up now 2-2. Yesterday, the Red Sox sending Casey Fossum back to Pawtucket, and now Fossum and Sonny Kimbo starting down in Pawtucket as this is chopped right side, finds its way through into right. Jason Veritek has Boston's 2nd hit of the night, and the lead man is on for the first time in this one for the Red Sox.
Veritek now with a 4-game hitting streak.
The designated hitter.
Ground ball, Tomey fairly close to the line. He gives up on it early as he thinks the second baseman Cabrera can get there, but he can't do it. Veritek picks up the hit. So it's Veritek and Baerga with the 2 hits in the game for the Red Sox.
There at second first, Brian Daubach was hit by a pitch back in the second inning and reached, but never left first base. The Red Sox have yet to have a base runner get to third.
That's a good shot breaking.
The point I was going to make about the pitchers that are now in Pawtucket, the starters, you have Fossum there, you have Sonny Kim there, Paxton Crawford trying to work his way back. And the Red Sox hoping that some of those guys can come back in starting capacities. Sonny Kim going down, looking to extend his time as a starter, and Casey Fossum as well. And it's interesting to see how those guys fare if they do come back as starters.
Well, it all depends on what they're going to need throughout the course of the season. You know, if the pitching stays good and they don't need a starting pitcher, but they need some help in a bullpen, they'll go to one of those guys and they'll find themselves back out in the bullpen again.
Daubach fouls it off, 1-2.
That's the advantage of going down and being put in that starting rotation. They build up their innings, their arm strength, their pitch count, and if they do need a starter, well, at least they have some guys available to call on.
There at second first. The Red Sox trailing by 4 runs as they bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. A 1-2. Daubach juices this to left center field. Back by the wall. Off the bottom of the wall. Varitek is running the ricochet. Nasty gets by Bradley. Varitek's going to try and score from first base and will. On the wall ball RBI double for Brian Daubach. Red Sox on the board.
Daubach's got 32 RBI now in the season, and 22 of them have come here at Fenway Park. That breaking ball was not a shot break. It kind of hung up in the zone, and Daubach glanced it off that left field wall. Misplayed by Bradley. The parent misplayed. He got in too tight to it. It deflects by him, and that allows Varitek to come around to score the first run for the Red Sox.
He's got to feel good for Brian Daubach, who has struggled as of late. A double to drive in a run. It was Nixon who flied deeply to right his first time. Off the glove of Tomey into right. Daubach will be stopped at third as Magruder in right comes up with it quickly. And a hot shot that glances off the glove of Jim Tomey. The Red Sox coming with the bats here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 3rd consecutive hit off Ryan Drease.
Mike Brown, the pitching coach, coming out to try to quiet things down for the rookie pitcher. He's been breezing along in this game until this inning. 2 of the 3 balls hit really hard. The one by Daubach and that last one by Nixon, just a rocket off the glove of Tomey. Line shot. You see Daubach has to freeze at second base, make sure that line drive is not caught, and there's no chance of scoring him from that point, and especially with nobody out in the inning.
Has thrown 65 pitches through 4+ innings for Charlie Manuel. But again, through the first 4, he gave up just 1 hit. And that was to Carlos Baerga back in the 1st inning. Red Sox had had only 2 base runners through the first 4, but a single, a double, and another single, a run in. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Offerman, a strikeout victim his last time up in the 3rd inning. Inside to Jose. On deck, Johnny Damon. This is really where last night and as of late the Red Sox have been unable to convert. A pretty good opportunity here. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Up and away. And he's now struggling with his control. 2-0. Off the backside of the mound goes Drease, in the midst of a meeting with himself. We'll throw over. Nixon back in plenty of time. The 2-0. Offerman takes, and it's 3-0. Right now, Drease can't throw a strike all of a sudden. Action for the first time in the bullpen. Chad Toronto up in the pen. Offerman taking all the way and taking ball 4. First walk of the night given up by Ryan Drease, and it will load him up. At the top of the Boston order, Johnny Damon will be next. A .430 career hitter with the bases loaded. 4 grand slams for Johnny Damon. Nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. A run already in. Daubach. Strike 1 to Damon. So Drease could not throw a strike to Offerman, but he starts off ahead of Johnny Damon.
Went to a different pitch. Went to the breaking ball to try to get ahead with the strike.
Damon lines it down the right field line. It's in and rolling to the corner. Daubach will score. Nixon will score. Offerman will be sent around. The throw is cut off. Into third with a bases clearing triple goes Johnny Damon. We're all tied at 4.
Johnny Damon gets a slider down and in and rifles it down in that right field corner. His 6th triple of the season that ties him for the lead in the American League with Lofton and Ichiro, and more importantly clears the bases. Damon turning it on between 2nd and 3rd, and the Red Sox have tied this ball game up. Well, this has come in a hurry against Drease.
Here's Carlos Baerga. 1 for 2 tonight. Single to center field. Inside to Baerga. 2-0. The go-ahead run at third base is 90 feet away. Double-barreled action in the bullpen for Cleveland. Manuel staying with Drease against the left-hander in Baerga, and he's fallen behind 3-0.
He's all out of whack now.
He just sort of lost it here in the 5th inning. After an extremely good first 4, he has given up 3 consecutive hits to begin the inning, a walk, and then a bases clearing triple. 5 batters, 4 runs with a runner at third, and not even close. He'll walk Baerga. 2nd walk of the inning, end of the outing, and we'll see if he faces any more batters, and the answer is no. Keith Murray joined Chad Toronto in the last couple of moments as Manuel will take the ball from Ryan Drease, who just lost it here all of a sudden in the 5th inning. The Red Sox getting to him for 4 runs so far. Responsible for the 2 runners on, and he'll leave with nobody out. Still in the midst of the bottom of the 5th, now tied at 4.
Fans entering Fenway to watch the Red Sox take on the Blue Jays on Wednesday, July 3rd will receive a Red Sox keychain, compliments of S. A limited amount of single tickets are still available for that game.
Well, things went sour in a hurry for Ryan Drease, and Chad Toronto comes from the pen.
Toronto last year was in the Baltimore organization, appeared in 24 games with the Orioles and 33 with Rochester, was claimed on special waivers in the offseason. Called up at the end of April to the Indians, making his 20th appearance. He is born in Woodsville, New Hampshire, but now lives in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Went to the University of Massachusetts at Amherst.
Went to high school and graduated from Woodsville, New Hampshire High School in 1993. All-state in basketball and baseball. And resides in the beautiful Berkshires. The heart of the Red Sox order coming up. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Tied at 4. Damon at third, Baerga at first. Nomar 0 for 2 tonight. And he slaps it foul on the ground over by the Indians dugout. Toronto is pretty big, 6'5", 255 pounds. Jerry mentioned he was claimed off special waivers. Any idea what special waivers?
I guess they're more special than waivers.
The 0-1 to Nomar. Baerga takes off at first, and he will get the second uncontested.
He did it again. The same thing. Pitchers refuse to look at him, and he takes that little jab step and walking lead towards second base, and he's gone before they deliver the ball. Watch this. Watch Baerga now as he'll take that walking lead towards second. He's gone. I mean, how many times did they let him get away with that?
2 stolen bases tonight for Carlos Baerga. 2 in scoring position, nobody out. The 1-1. Garcia-Parra sends it in the air to right. Magruder back in right. Tagging to be Damon at third. He will easily score as the Red Sox take the 5-4 lead on the sac fly to right. Nomar gets credit for his 59th RBI. The Red Sox have erased a 4-run deficit and lead it 5-4.
And a good sacrifice fly. Not only does he get the go-ahead run to the plate, home plate, and make it 5-4, but he gets Baerga to third with less than 2 outs. No rush to lead there. You know you're going to score easily if you're Johnny Damon. Now with Manny up, they'll pull the infield in.
Manny Ramirez, the 8th member of the Red Sox to bat in the 5th inning. He's bounced out twice, once to second, once to short. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Infield in. Rolling away, ball 1. Chris Singleton has homered in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Orioles. They're now tied 4-4 with the Yankees as they go back and forth in Baltimore tonight. The 1-0 Ramirez. This is low again, 2-0. All 5 runs in this, the bottom of the 5th inning, charged to the starter, Ryan Drease, who remains on the bench 4+ innings, giving up so far 5 runs. He's responsible for Baerga, who's at third base with 1 out.
Well, that fell apart real fast, and he was pitching a terrific ball game.
Certainly did. In there for the strike to Manny, 2-1. Drease had given up just 1 hit through the first 4 innings, and then he gave up 3 consecutive hits, a walk, a triple, a walk, and then he left. Did not get an out, facing 6 Red Sox hitters in this, the 5th inning, 5 of which have scored. The 2-1 to Manny Ramirez. Blowing away. He's been very careful in dealing with Manny. 3-1. Ramirez had a hit last night in his return to the Red Sox lineup. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Big cut from Ramirez, swinging for the downs, but it's a full count.
Really chasing a bad pitch there. A little bit over anxious for Manny on the 3-1 count. Didn't get something in his zone. Probably ball 4. That ball well out of the strike zone. Manny anxious to do something big.
Toronto looks at third, and the payoff pitch. Ramirez grounds it through the left side into left field. From third comes Baerga, and the Red Sox lead it 6-4. Manny Ramirez, welcome back to the Red Sox lineup. An RBI single, and Boston leads it by 2.
Badly Ramirez wanted to drive in a run. He swung at a bad pitch, 3-1, but he gets a good pitch on 3-2, and with that infield drawn in, and he picks up his 36th RBI of the season. He has a 10-game hitting streak. Had an 8-gamer before going on to the Sable list. Had one last night and adds to it tonight.
Shea Hillenbrand, the 9th member of the Red Sox, to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The book is now closed on Drease, who went 4+ innings, giving up 5 hits and 6 runs. Walked 2, struck out 2. And despite the fact that his book is now closed, he remains on the bench for the Indians for the remainder of the inning, apparently. Chopped to third. Selby goes to second for 1. They won't have a chance at first as Hillenbrand beats it down the line. They get the lead man in Ramirez. And the inning will continue.
Well, a new life for Pedro Martinez in this game, and we'll see how Pedro comes out in the 6th inning. He's given up 3 home runs, the most he's allowed in the game, 4. He's done that twice, and that was back in 1998, both times.
Pedro has thrown 83 pitches tonight through 5 innings. Jason Varitek started the inning off with a base hit to right. He's what got all of this started. And 6 runs later, he bats again and hits it high in the air to right center field, very high. Wilton Bradley coming over from center field, and then make the catch back by the track. Little communication problem with the right fielder. The Red Sox get to Ryan Drease to the tune of 6 runs in the bottom of the 5th at the end of 5, 6-4 Boston.
Back at Fenway, the Red Sox have taken a 6-4 lead through 5 innings. Let's check the stolen base leaders around baseball, brought to you by Mobile Speed Pass. Soriano and Lofton tied at 21. Ichiro with 18. National League Louis Castillo 26. Juan Pierre drops to 2nd place with 24, and Alex Sanchez of Milwaukee has the 19.
Well, quite an inning for the Red Sox. A 6-run bottom of the 5th inning. And the Red Sox have now given Pedro Martinez, who went from a 4-run deficit to a 2-run lead to work with as we move to the top of the 6th inning.
And we'll see if Pedro comes out with a little extra life here in the 6th inning after being given the 6 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Johnny Damon with the big triple to clear the bases, drive in 3 runs.
How good a game has he had tonight?
Pretty good. And just, pretty good defense, big hit. Do we give a star of the game?
I think we do. Yeah, I think he deserves it if we do.
He's got a good shot at it right now.
He has done it all tonight from a defensive standpoint and an offensive standpoint. There's Holbert Cabrera, the 2nd baseman for the Indians, who was struck out, fly deeply to center field his last time up. One thing Pedro did do is sit a while as the Red Sox hit around. He's now thrown 85 pitches in his outing as he works here in the top of the 6th inning. Chopped softly to Hillenbrand. Couple of steps and a good, hard, accurate throw, 1 down. For all the worrying that Red Sox Nation has done about Pedro Martinez, you look at his numbers coming into tonight at 8-2, a 2.92, and while he has not been the Pedro of old and certainly not been the dominating pitcher, his numbers are still very good.
Well, there's an awful lot of pitchers in baseball that would like to have those numbers. But even Pedro himself knows that they could even be better.
Tonight in search of his 9th victory of the year. In his 16th start of the season. Ellis Burks 1 for 2 with a home run as he lifts this in the air to right field. Trot Nixon started back, now in, 2 down.
And it would be awful nice too if Pedro had a nice easy inning, low pitch count, and get the offense back at the plate as quickly as possible.
Number 25, the first baseman, Jim Thome.
Jim Thome has one of 3 Cleveland home runs tonight off Pedro. Joining Ellis Burks and Ben Broussard. The home run for Thome was his 21st of the year and has him just a home run in behind A-Rod for the lead in the American League in that category. Sends it to the right side with the shift on, and Baerga throws him out. Pedro does just that, comes up with the 1-2-3 inning after the 6th run output for Boston in the 5th. 6-4 Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Corona. Relax and enjoy an ice cold Corona Extra. And by your New England Jeep dealer. Jeep, there's only one. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park. Red Sox on top 6-4 as we get ready for the bottom of the 6th inning. The Indians will employ their 3rd pitcher of the night as they bring on lefty Heath Murray into the game.
It's only his 2nd appearance. He was called up from AAA Buffalo, spent the first 2.5 months down at the AAA level. Signed as a free agent in the offseason. Spent last year with the Tigers, 40 appearances for Detroit. He's also had major league time with San Diego.
Originally a 3rd round pick of the Padres back in 1994. 6'4", 210-pound lefty who will deal with left-handed hitting Brian Daubach to begin things here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Even with the bag at 3rd is Bill Selby as the rest of the Indians infield is backed up. Outfield play straight away pretty deep for Daubach. Murray gets the first one in there for a strike. Daubach has been hit by a pitch in a run. The RBI good for his 32nd RBI of the year. Facing Heath Murray, who's 28 years old. Has been in the big leagues with the Padres and the Tigers. Suffered through a miserable season last year with Detroit. He made 40 appearances for the Tigers last year. Was 1-7 with a 6.54 earned run average in 63 1/3 innings. And 36 of those outings came from the bullpen. Made 4 starts for the Tigers last year, but a very difficult season for Heath Murray. Daubach waves at that pitch, 1-2.
Nice visit between innings from Al Bunbury, who is now in the Cleveland organization, former coach with the Red Sox, and of course great Baltimore Oriole player, and he's working part-time. His project right now is Dan Broussard out there in left field. He's worked with him a lot in the outfield and spent some time with the major league team. Goes back and works with the young players in the minor leagues. Nice to see Al again.
Daubach fooled on that pitch, strikes out. They'll need to throw him out, and they do. First strikeout for Heath Murray, 1 down. A long time for the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh yeah, very good center fielder, a lot of speed, do a lot of things with the bat.
The right fielder, Trot Nixon.
1 down. Trot Nixon making his way to the plate. Nixon 1 for 2, singled and scored a run in the 5th inning. One of now 6 Red Sox hits. And the strike to Nixon. Red Sox with a 6-run bottom of the 5th inning tonight.
And we'll see how things go for the Red Sox, but sometimes when an offense has been struggling, it takes an inning like that to get you back on track. 6 spot put up in the 5th inning to take the lead after being down 4-0.
After being swept by the Dodgers over the weekend, dropping the first game of this series last night. Nixon lofts it to shallow left center. That'll get over the head of McDonald, and Trot Nixon collects his second hit of the night.
And Nixon this time picking the base hit up off a left-handed pitcher. He'll go down, and a pitch that's down and off the plate, actually down and away, and just pops it over the head of McDonald for the base hit. Nixon with a 4-game hitting streak, 2 for 3 tonight.
Here's Jose Offerman, who walked his last time up, came around to score the 4th Boston run. Jose scored as part of the bases clearing triple. The bases loaded that Johnny Damon drove in 3 runs on, which at the time tied the score. Damon would score on the sac fly by Nomar Garciaparra, and then the single by Manny Ramirez to bring in Carlos Baerga, and that's given the Red Sox their 6-4 advantage. On the outside corner, 1-1 now to Offerman. Johnny Damon waits on deck.
Red Sox could try a hit and run. You've got a pitcher out there that doesn't appear to be a strikeout pitcher.
Over and Nixon back in plenty of time. And he struck out only 42 in 63 and a third innings last year. Murray with the 1-1 up and away. Offerman doesn't chase. 2-1 the count.
And if they're going to do it, they'd probably do it on this count here, the 2-1 count. Brady taking a peek down at that bullpen. They got a right-hander loosening up. Do the Indians.
The 2-1 to Offerman. Murray with the long pause. Offerman slices it foul. And it's 2-2. Action in the pen, as Jerry mentioned. Jared Riggin in the bullpen. Brady does not really have a special spot in the dugout, does he? A lot of the managers have always stood in the nearest side to home plate. He spends a lot of time at the end of the dugout.
Roams around. Checks on things down there with Ricky. The police officers move back to the other end.
And 2-2 will have to wait to check on Nixon. Wonder if things are not going well. Maybe he tries to mix it up a little bit. Maybe if he stands somewhere different in the dugout, things will change. Maybe we didn't really notice, but maybe during the 6-run inning he started off down there. Maybe he doesn't want to leave now that he's down there. Offerman grounds it back to Cabrera. He'll start the 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. So that'll do it in the 6th. On to the 7th inning. Red Sox on top 6-4.
Stan, will you marry her? Why not, Stan? Go for it.
Wow. I wonder where Stan is.
Well, Stan's not at the game. Maybe he's working.
Here's Bill Selby, who has struck out twice tonight against Pedro. His 3rd go around, hitting at 167. Bill Selby, a Red Sox draft choice, a 13th round pick by Boston back in 1992. First got to the majors with the Red Sox in 1996. Played in 40 games for Boston that year. Spent the bulk of that season in 1996 in Pawtucket. And was a very big part of a record-setting season in which the Pawtucket Red Sox hit a AAA record 219 home runs. And he hit the record home run for the Pawtucket Red Sox that year in 1996. Pawtucket was filled with a lot of home run hitters that season. Omar Garcia-Parra, a big part of that 96 Pawtucket Red Sox squad. Rudy Pemberton, Wayne Hosey, Alex Cole, among others. This is away, and it's a full count. I believe that record still stands. 219 home runs, the most by a AAA team in a season. Of course, you're dealing with basically a month less of a season at the AAA level. Shelby sends it in the air to left field. Manny Ramirez going back, and that ball is up and off the wall. The ricochet played by Manny barehanded. Ian Damon out there in left center field, but it's a wall ball double for Bill Selby.
Selby taking the Pedro fastball to the opposite field and comes down just above the scoreboard for the double.
Number 24, the center fielder, Milton Bradley.
Pedro felt like he might have had Selby struck out on the pitch earlier, and Selby gets another chance and flanks it up that left field wall. Activity now starting in the Red Sox bullpen.
There's Milton Bradley, who struck out, grounded out, takes the pitch inside. Bradley coming over from the Expos last year to the Cleveland Indians. Expos giving up on Milton Bradley. Sends it in the air to left center field. Damon moves over and makes the catch. Selby back to the bag at second, one down.
Damon would not be my fielder of choice to be hitting it anywhere in his direction tonight.
He's covered the whole gap area quite nicely tonight.
Yep, going to his left and also to his right.
Ben Broussard.
Here's Ben Broussard, who hit a home run, one of three hit tonight by the Cleveland Indians off Pedro Martinez. Jim Thome with his 21st of the year, and Ellis Burks with his 12th. The breaking ball in there for a strike. The next pitch from Pedro Martinez will be his 100th of the night. And it's line foul down beyond Canvas Alley. Red Sox with action in the pen. Garces, and behind the box, Chris Haney. Which appeared to have more life last night, coming back in his first appearance back for the Red Sox. From a confidence standpoint, there's strike three to Broussard. 9th K of the night for Pedro Martinez, 2 down.
I wouldn't say that Bell's been squeezing Pedro tonight, but there have been a couple that could have been called strikes and similar pitches to this. This time he does get the strike call from Bell.
Two down. Selby was at second base with nobody out. He's still there with 2 down. Leonard Diaz 0 for 2 as he takes strike one from Pedro.
This will probably be the last inning for Pedro. Up over 100 pitches now, as you mentioned, Don.
Ray Cloninger on the phone to the bullpen. Diaz fouls it off the right side, and he's in the hole. 0-2. Pedro has struck out 9 tonight. This last time out against the San Diego Padres, he struck out 11. New action in the Boston Pen. Tim Wakefield now up. The 0-2 to Einar Diaz. He got a piece, staying alive, still nothing in 2.
0-2 changeup from Pedro, and Diaz just getting the top of the baseball. Pedro would like to finish this inning out with the punch out.
Just missing. Veritek framed it over the outside edge. It appeared, and it's now 1-2 to Einar Diaz.
Crowd wanted it, but that ball's certainly outside.
Pedro Martinez has 83 career 10 strikeout performances or more. This is line softly ensnared by Hillenbrand. That'll do it in the 7th inning. Bill Selby left in scoring position. 7th inning stretch time from Fenway. Red Sox on top 6-4. Back at Fenway, Red Sox on top 6-4 as we get ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's check out the Heineken What's on Tap. Tomorrow, the final game of the series against the Indians at 7 on Fox 25. And the Atlanta Braves are in as we go back to interleague play against the Red Sox natural rival. We have the first one at 6:30. Our coverage begins on Friday night. Fox 25, or actually Fox National, I should say, Saturday, and then on Sunday, the final game of that series, a matinee game on Fox 25. Well, the Blue Jays will be in for a 4-game series. A doubleheader on Tuesday for the Red Sox. On to the bottom of the 7th inning. Johnny Damon, Carlos Baerga, and Omar Garcia-Parra ready to face the left-handed reliever Heath Murray. He came on last inning. And with 1 out, gave up a base hit to Trot Nixon, but he was able to induce an inning-ending double play from Jose Offerman. Told tonight that the Yankees now have a 6-4 lead over Baltimore. Jorge Posada with a 2-run home run in the top of the 6th inning as the Yankees on top by 2. Johnny Damon tripled with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. The drive in 3 cleared the bases. Now 38 RBIs. It's this in the air to right center field. Milton Bradley moving over. And the Indian center fielder makes the catch for the first out. Let's check in with Tom Caron. Tom.
Thanks very much, Don. We are here with Joe Kennedy, who is our Citizens Bank Night typical fan. And Joe, pretty good seats.
Fantastic. Listen. I've never, first of all, I don't even know that these seats existed about a month ago, but it's the most, and what a great game to be here for.
Well, you're saying last time you were here, this would have been on the field.
I think it really would have been. I was looking for the wall, but I mean, and there's been about 6 foul balls. As a matter of fact, the lady sitting right next to us took one in the back, but her son stood right up for her and stood there and got the ball back, and a couple of the players came out and gave him a ball. It was a nice thing to see.
You knew he'd be brave. He's got an Irish national soccer team shirt on.
He's got the mug of Ireland on that face of his.
Let's talk real quickly about the Citizens Energy Corporation. How's that going?
Citizens going great, although on a night like tonight, I'm not sure if people are worried too much about heating oil. But anyway, no, Citizens is going terrific. But, you know, it's just, what a great thing to come out to watch the ball game. I got my kids, my wife. We're just having a wonderful evening. I mean, there's no place else in America that you can come to a ballpark like this, watch a team come back the way the Red Sox have tonight. It's just been a great evening.
There you go. That's an ad right there for the Red Sox. Joe, thanks.
It's a wonderful night. Thank you very much.
Great night out here in the ballpark, guys. We'll go back upstairs.
All right, Tom. Well, Carlos Baerga has singled with 1 out, his 2nd hit of the night. And that's going to do it for Heath Murray, the left-hander who came on last inning. Got the first out of the inning, but after giving up a base hit to Carlos Baerga, the Indians will go to the pen. The 4th pitcher of the night coming on for Cleveland. We're still in the midst of the bottom of the 7th inning with the Red Sox on top 6-4. We'll step aside and come back and tell you about the new Indians pitcher.
Well, all fans 50 15 and under entering Fenway Park to watch the Red Sox take on the Blue Jays on Thursday, July 4th. Receive a patriotic Wally the Beanbag Buddy compliments of Conn's Fenway Franks. A limited amount of single tickets are still available for the game.
Well, Heath Murray gone after an inning into third, giving up 1 hit. And the new pitcher on was part of the Roberto Alomar deal, Jared Riggin.
Yeah, he and Matt Lawton coming over to the Cleveland Indians and a number of other players. That was, of course, the Alomar deal. Danny Peoples going the other way. 14th appearance overall, 28 hits in 16 innings, 9 walks and 11 strikeouts. Last year was in 35 games with the Mets, 1 game with the Mets in the year 2000.
6 foot 397 pounds. And now 28 years old. He will face Nomar Garciaparra with Carlos Baerga at first. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Red Sox on top by 2, 6-4. Out hitting Cleveland 8-5. The departed pitcher Heath Murray still responsible for Baerga, who's at first. Riggin with a throw over. Quick move that had Baerga lunging back to the bag.
Hey, you would think by this stage in the game he might have their attention. He's got a couple of steals in the game to give him 6 total on the season. It has not been caught.
And then again, Baerga back to the bag. Riggin appearing in 35 games last year with the Mets, all out of the bullpen, 3-3. Wow, there's a sidearm toss. Quick bid to get Baerga, but again he's back. And is now most concerned with his progress over there is Jared Riggin. Waiting patiently at the plate as Nomar has yet to see a pitch from the new reliever. And another throw over, and Carlos this time diving back head first. Finally a pitch, and it's up and into Nomar. Outfield straight away for Garciaparra. Soft toss this time to the bag at first.
It's that 5 throws to first and 1 to the plate.
Baerga 6 for 6 tonight. 2 stolen bases, 1 in the first, 1 in the 5th. You can't believe the attention he's now receiving at first base. Again, up and in to Nomar. 2-0. Riggin has become so concerned with Baerga at first base. Now he's fallen behind Garciaparra. 2-0 has not been close in 2 deliveries. Baerga's lead at first is very small. And there for the strike, 2-1.
Carlos makes up for that, though. He gets a small lead, but he starts running before the pitcher even comes home. So it ends up being a big lead.
Here's Carlos spending the bulk of his career as a member of the Cleveland Indians. The 2-1. Nomar thought about it and holds off, and he's ahead 3-1.
They called the balk.
Wow. That will place Baerga at second base, so all of that concern over Carlos, and they charge Riggin with the balk that gets him to second anyway. Here comes Charlie Manuel.
Manuel wants to know what the pitcher did. You would have to guess it was for not stopping. I don't see anything else out of the ordinary. Tough to tell from where we started that. If we can run it maybe in regular motion, regular speed, might give you a better idea. Comes up into the set position. Looked like there was a stop there.
Yeah. Wow. John Hirschbeck, the veteran umpire, making the call from third base. Bayergen scoring position with 1 out. A count of 2-1. Actually 3-1 to Nomar. Scoreboard says 2-1. It's 3-1 to Garciaparra. And a full count now.
Changeup on the 3-1 count.
Garciaparra 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. The RBI is 59th of the season. Tied with Jason Giambi in that category. Tied for 3rd in the American League in RBIs. And did he offer? Yes, he did. They ring him up. C.B. Bucknor from first base says he offered. Kind of a rabbit punch type swing from Nomar. And a strikeout for Jared Riggin. 2 down.
Nomar doesn't agree. Anytime you see that first base umpire walking in toward home plate, he wants to be off. And it generally means he's going to call the hitter out. That ball back clearly out in front of the plate. And the correct call made there by C.B. Bucknor. Ever notice that, Don? When they start walking in toward that first base back, they want to make the call.
Ask me, ask me. Well, they did ask him, and Bucknor rings up Nomar. They're going to intentionally walk Manny Ramirez with first base open.
Seems a little bit strange, seeing that Manny has not been back very long. He did have a base hit to drive in a run last time up. Hillenbrand, of course, has been a fairly hot hitter, but they'll take their chances with Hillenbrand.
And this is the 9th intentional walk of the season for Manny Ramirez.
Now, even after all the time that he missed, he's still 3rd in the league in that category. Ichiro at 16, Delgado 11, and Manny with 9.
That's the stage for Shea Hillenbrand. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Shea has flied out twice and has grounded out. It's the second time Shea has come up to Creed. I have a feeling now the pairs of individual songs maybe. We're starting to see a pattern here. Hillenbrand 0 for 3 tonight. And out after the first pitch, fouling it off. Hillenbrand 2 for 4 last night. Nair gets second, the responsibility of Heath Murray, the left-handed pitcher who started the inning in left. Ramirez at first base, 2 on, 2 outs. And the 0-1 pitch to Shea Hillenbrand. Bounces in, nicely corralled by Einar Diaz, 1-1. Riggin with the 1-1 pitch. Hillenbrand grounds it to 3rd. Selby will go to 2nd, and they retire the middleman in Ramirez, forced out at second base to end the inning. So the Red Sox leave a pair of men on through 7. 6-4 Boston.
Post-game show brought to you by Keyspan, putting more energy into life. After the last inning, the action is just beginning.
Now Pedro Martinez worked the first 7 innings tonight, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 home runs. He didn't walk anybody. He struck out 9 and departs with a chance to pick up his 9th win of the year. The new pitcher for the Red Sox is Tim Wakefield.
24th appearance for Wakefield, 2-2 record. The last game that he worked in was yesterday against Cleveland. Pitched the 7th inning. 1 hit and 1 strikeout for Wake in that ball game.
John McDonald.
We did a little saying before the game that Tim Wakefield likely would get a start in the doubleheader against the Toronto Blue Jays on Tuesday here at Fenway. And said that a lot could happen between now and then, but right now plan A is to have Tim Wakefield pitch in one of those games as a starter. Wakefield will deal with John McDonald, the New London, Connecticut native who leads it off in the top of the 8th for the Indians. The Orioles have pulled ahead of the Yankees 7-6. Mike Bordick with an RBI single has put Baltimore on top 7-6 over the Yankees. So
That's a wild one, huh?
Back and forth all night. So the Yankees are losing right now while the Red Sox are winning. It's 2-1 to McDonald. He'll be followed by Chris Magruder and Holbert Cabrera here in the top of the 8th inning. Swing and a miss. 2-2. We see John McDonald and we see Lou Merlone all the time here for the Red Sox. Certainly sad that Providence College no longer has a baseball program. Certainly was a very good one. As McDonald strikes out, held on to by Veritek. There's the first out of the 8th. The 10th strikeout tonight for Red Sox pitching.
Hey, you had a graphic. They had a graphic earlier that he was second team All East when he was playing for Providence. That must have been a pretty good first team.
Yeah, I don't.
The right fielder, Chris.
Yeah, it must have been. A lot of college programs would never have players reach the major leagues. Of course, Lou Merlone on the other side for the Red Sox and John McDonald for the Cleveland Indians. And a program that no longer exists at Providence College. I don't think Lou has really forgiven his alma mater for that. Certainly was opposed to it. He's in there for the strike. Quickly 0-2 to Chris Magruder.
Didn't they win a championship in their final year?
I don't know.
I think they did.
Something really. Popped up foul back below us. 0-2 to Chris Magruder. Blowing towards left center field. The flag out in left center as strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Tim Wakefield. 2 down. Let's check into the Nesson studio at Bob Rogers. Bob.
Donnie, rough night for Roger Clemens. He gets tagged for 3 home runs, and he gets charged with all 3 runs in the 6th inning by the Orioles. Brian Roberts' double will score. Mike Bordick caps the 3-run rally. The Yankees trail it now 7-6 in the top of the 7th.
Back here at Fenway, 6-4, Red Sox on top, 2 down in the 8th. Albert Cabrera, who is 0 for 3 tonight, is struck out, flied out, grounded out. And Cabrera fouling it off, 1-1 now. Cabrera, 29 from Cartagena, Colombia. Gets a piece, 1-2. His brother Orlando played also for the Montreal Expos, both seeing time in the major leagues.
The contrast in styles they're seeing. Pedro Martinez to the knuckleball of Tim Wakefield.
From one end of the spectrum to the other. Wakefield dropped down, thought he had him.
Oh, everybody did. Veritek was running toward the home plate, first base dugout. Watch Veritek's reaction on this sidearm knuckleball. He'll pop up and start going to the dugout.
That's a strike. The 2-2. Fouls it back.
I hate to disagree with you, Donald.
You don't think so?
No, the umpire called it a ball.
Well, no. Now, had you been the umpire, what would you have called that?
Strike 3.
That's what I thought. Wakefield trying to strike out the side. McDonald has struck out. Magruder has struck out. And Cabrera takes ball 3, a full count. Pedro struck out 9 before he left in his 7 innings of work. A 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. He rings him up. McDonald, Magruder, and Cabrera all down by way of the K as Wakefield strikes out the side. On to the bottom of the 8th. 6-4 Boston. Park, where the Red Sox have a 6-4 lead. A big 6-run 5th inning with the Red Sox trailing 4-0. The bases were loaded for Johnny Damon, who triples and clears the bases. Rolls around and down in the corner as Damon continues to run. 3-run score, and it is a 6-run bottom of the 5th inning for Boston, which spelled the end for Ryan Drease, the starter, charged with all 6 runs over his 4+ innings of work. Pedro leaves with a chance to pick up his 9th win of the year. 7 innings, 4 runs, striking out 9, walking no one. Johnny Damon, who's been spectacular defensively with a triple and 3 runs batted in. Burks with a 2-run home run. Jim Thome with a solo home run, and a home run for Ben Broussard off of Pedro Martinez, who did give up 3 round trippers in the game tonight. Jason Varitek, Brian Daubach, and Trot Nixon to face the new pitcher, lefty Ricardo Rincon.
36th appearance of the season, 2nd of this series. He worked 2/3 of an inning in the ball game last night here at Fenway. 20 strikeouts in 27 2/3.
Varitek 1 for 3 in the game tonight, singled and scored in the 5th. In lieu of Brian Daubach on deck, Ricky Henderson has come out. So Ricky has grabbed a bat. He will pinch hit here, it appears, for Brian Daubach. Daubach was 1 for 2 with an RBI double tonight. Was hit by a pitch. This is the 2nd lefty used tonight by the Indians. Heath Murray worked an inning in a 3rd. Cleveland has used 5 pitchers. All the runs charged with their starter, Ryan Drease. This is juiced towards right center field. Back by the bullpen. Into the bullpen. Solo home run for Jason Varitek, his 6th of the year. And the Red Sox lead it 7-4.
Picking up his 2nd from the right side of the plate this year, and hits this ball a long way to the opposite field. Opposite field power for Varitek into that Red Sox bullpen. So Varitek with a 2-hit night, picks up his 28th RBI of the season.
Ricky Henderson will bat for Brian Daubach as anticipated. And Ricky takes strike 1. Henderson did not play yesterday, riding a 3-game hitting streak. Off a road trip in which he was just 3 for 18 at 167. It's already on the cut, down 0-2. Ricky needs 1 single to tie Luke Appling for 23rd place all time. He needs 26 hits to tie Rod Carew. As the milestones continue to pile up for Ricky Henderson. Most recently missing 12 games with the right hip and lower back soreness after backing up into the wall at Yankee Stadium a few Sundays ago. Strike 3 to Henderson. A quick at bat. He will disagree, but he'll take with him the first strikeout for Ricardo Rincon.
Now, Ricky's not going to like that call, and that has not been called very much tonight by Bell, the home plate umpire. The ball did look to be down and away.
Number 7, the right fielder, Trot Nixon.
Ricky looks back in disbelief.
One out. Here's Trot Nixon, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Nixon may have his 3rd hit and does. Drops it into shallow left field. Nixon with a 3-hit performance tonight.
And his 2nd hit tonight off a left-hander, both in the same direction, out toward the left field. That one off Heath Murray over the head of McDonald last time out. Same direction, breaking ball, and Nixon picks up his 3rd hit, 2nd off a lefty.
The only time he has been out tonight, he hit the ball hard to the warning track in left field back in the 2nd inning. A single to right, 2 singles to left, 3 hits in all tonight for Nixon. The Red Sox, with that hit, jump into double figures, out hitting Cleveland 10-5. Here's Offerman, who does not have a hit tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Rounded into a double play last time up in the 6th inning. Going to check on Nixon, who has to just cross over 1 step to return to the bag. Red Sox trying to end a 4-game skid. And to begin tonight, it was a tall task with Cleveland jumping out to the 4-0 advantage. And the Red Sox scored 6 times in the bottom of the 5th. They've added a run here in the bottom of the 8th and lead it 7-4 as we play in the bottom of the 8th with 1 down. And Ramirez 1 for 3 tonight with an intentional walk and a run batted in. The 1-1 to Offerman. It's up and away. 2-1 to Jose. The top of the Red Sox order, Johnny Damon, waits on deck. In there for the strike, 2-2. Nixon with a short lead at first, being held on by Jim Thome. The 2-2. Inside corner, strike 3. Offerman rung up by Wally Bell, 2 down.
Everything had been away from Offerman in that at bat, and then with the 2 strikes, Rincon comes inside with the fastball, and Offerman jumping back and picks up the inside corner. 2 strikeouts on this inning, and neither one of the hitters like the call very much, Henderson or Offerman.
Red Sox with action in the pen as Uguet Urbina is warming in the bullpen. And it stands the way it does as Nixon takes off. The pitch is strike, and Diaz can't find the handle. Popped up and out of the glove.
Well, the go-go Red Sox tonight. 3 steals. Baega with 2, and now Nixon in the rush to transfer from the glove to the throwing hand. Diaz just drops the ball, and Nixon picks up his 4th steal of the season.
The 0-1 pitch to Johnny Damon. This is inside. Well, the seesaw battle continues in Baltimore. The Yankees are now ahead 8-7. Alfonso Soriano with an RBI single has put the Yankees on top. There's Urbina in the pen. And the score remains the same. It would be a save situation for Oogie. Who right now has 20 saves on the season.
Pitching is not exactly dominated in that Yankee game
no.
tonight.
Nixon in scoring position, 2 down as Johnny Damon waits on the 1-2. Evens up at 2-2. Uguet Urbina with 20 saves is behind everyday Eddie Guardado of the Minnesota Twins, who has 22 saves. to lead the American League in that category. Rincon glances at second in the 2-2. Damon slaps it foul off the left side. Tomorrow night, the final game of this 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Indians. John Burke hit 7-3 against CC Sabathia. The lefty was 5-6 with a 5.00 earned run average. Damon strikes out, went lunging, and Rincon ends up striking out the side after Veritek. It's a solo home run to give the Red Sox a 7-4 lead as we head to the 9th. It's Oogie time. Speed pass, today's way to pay.
Top of the 9th at Fenway. The Red Sox have this 7-4 lead. We remind you this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
Well, as anticipated, Urbina is on.
20 for 21 in save opportunities. He worked in the ball game last night, pitched an inning against the Indians, and had a couple of strikeouts. As Don mentioned, 2 behind Eddie Guardado for the lead in the American League. He didn't work very much on that last road trip for the Red Sox.
Those Burks, Jim Thome, and Bill Selby, the expected hitters in the 9th. Burks 1 for 3, hit a 2-run home run back in the first inning off Pedro Martinez. The home run for Burks is 12th. He's not had success against Urbina. 0 for 8 in his career against Oogie. And Urbina missing up top, 2-0. Urbina trying to save it for Pedro Martinez. Tim Wakefield worked 1 inning and struck out the side in order. McDonald, Magruder, and Cabrera all striking out in the 8th. And there for the strike, 2-1.
3 runs down. Looks like Ellis Burks taking a strike all the way here to lead off the 9th.
Check swing fouled off the left side, and it's quickly even at 2-2. Burks has had a lot of injuries over the course of his career.
A lot of knee problems. Advantage for him coming in the American League and being able to DH.
Since leaving Boston, of course, with the Chicago White Sox, the Colorado Rockies, the San Francisco Giants, and now in his 2nd season with the Cleveland Indians. Well, the 2-2. Line to left, a base hit. Ellis Burks with his 2nd hit of the night. The Indians need base runners, and they had the lead man aboard in the 9th.
Ellis Burks has always been an excellent thigh-high fastball hitter, and put that one right on the line for the base hit. Do you see the size of that bat boy for Cleveland?
I think that might be his son.
Yep. He's hustling out there getting those bats.
A little trouble getting it in there, a little high.
Gonna give him a little step ladder for that high rack.
There's Thome, who sends it through the vacated right side into right field. Up to second base goes Ellis Burks, and now the Indians will bring the potential tying run to the plate with nobody out in the 9th.
2 balls hit very hard in this inning. Burks' base hit. Now Jim Thome with the line drive base hit.
Bill Selby will indeed bat for himself. He doubled his last time up after striking out twice tonight against Pedro. 1 for 3. You mentioned the fact that Urbina did not have a lot of opportunities to pitch on the last road trip. And tonight in there in a save situation. Back-to-back base hits for the Indians to open the ninth. To Bill Selby. In there for strike 1-1. Pedro Martinez went the first 7 tonight, giving up the 4 runs that the Indians have in the game. Boston coming back with some runs for Pedro. Tim Wakefield in a shutout inning with 3 strikeouts, and now Urbina working the 9th. 2 on, nobody out, and Selby sends it foul. Now down 1-2. Bill Selby appearing in his 14th game of the year for the Cleveland Indians. He has spent the bulk of the year at AAA Buffalo with the Bisons. Ruge gets the sign from Varitek. Ready with the 1-2 pitch. In the air to center field. Johnny Damon moving back. It's carrying pretty well. It'll take him onto the dirt of the track, but he'll make the catch. Burks will tag up at second and move over to third, but the first out of the 9th recorded on a long flyout by Bill Selby.
Now, these are the kind of nights that anything hit in the air toward the outfield with the wind blowing out and warm and humid, you become concerned about. Selby taking Damon back to the warning track. Still some room for Johnny. Makes the catch for the first out.
There's Milton Bradley, who's 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out, grounded out, flied out. Urbina has been behind, is behind here 1-0. Bradley at just 176 on the season with runners in scoring position. Fooled him on that pitch, 1-1. Off speed. Then Broussard, who hit a home run in the 5th inning. Pedro Martinez waits on deck. Chop towards first. Offerman will go to second for 1. Urbina covers the put out there. The Red Sox win it. 3-6-1 on the game-ending double play. And Urbina needed that after leadoff back-to-back base hits for Burks and Tomey. But he gets Bradley to ground into the game-ending double play. And the Red Sox snap a 4-game losing streak with a victory tonight. A game apiece in this 3-game series between the Red Sox and Cleveland Indians. The Red Sox capture their 46th win of the year and better their record to 46-28 on the season. They make a winner of Pedro Martinez, his 9th victory of the year. A terrific night for Johnny Damon. With the bases loaded, able to clear the bases with a triple. And some fine defensive play, and certainly Grady Little happy that the mini losing streak of 4 games has ended here tonight. And a fine comeback for the Red Sox as they win it 7-4. Martinez the winner, now 9-2. The loss goes to Ryan Drease, who drops to 7-6 in the 21st save of the year for Uget Urbina. Again, the final: Boston 7, Cleveland 4. Be sure and stay with us. Extra innings coming up next on NESN.
Vehicles are known for capability, and now during the Jeep Challenge, we rule on a whole new level, starting with our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge on engines and transmissions. Plus now, qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can get a $298 a month lease on Jeep Liberty. So take the Jeep Challenge. You'll see we're hard to beat.
Hey, you guys got to give me a head start next time.
Great products, great protection, great values. Take the Jeep Challenge. See your New England Jeep dealer.
Vibe, the evolutionary malt beverage infused with natural flavors. Different grooves, one vibe.
Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. The coffee you love served ice cold. You just can't live without it. Escape to a cooler place with Dunkin' Donuts' new summer sipper and keep your iced coffee ice cold.
You like simple better than complicated. You like quick better than slow. And you like peace of mind. So pay with SpeedPass, because if it's lost or stolen, you won't have to pay for unauthorized purchases. Security is guaranteed. You like there better than here. How do we know? We're drivers too.
Think it? Do it with Dodge Durango SXT. VA power at a price no other SUV can touch. Kicking CD sound system, big wheels and tires, and roof rack. All for just under $27,000. Better get it in gear. Now qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can lease a Dodge Durango 4x4 SXT for just $279 a month for 36 months.
Mike?
Fred?
Yeah.
Hey. Afternoon.
So you found us okay?
No problem. Here are those checks for the new account.
Oh, great. Yeah, just in time. Well, have a good trip back.
What's that?
Well, that's the main highway.
Main highway?
The new Mohegan Sun. Come play.
What's wrong, Jim?
I think I've grown a second evil head.
Oh, I'm sorry. What if we go get a refreshing Mike's Hard Iced Tea? Would that help?
I didn't know Mike's made a hard iced tea.
A hard day calls for a hard iced tea. Make it Mike's.
Closed captioning for extra innings on Nesson is provided by Verizon, the Yawkey Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, and Aflac.
It was a tale of two games tonight. The Tribe's Tall Jacks put the Sox and Pedro on edge, but the Red Sox come back as Johnny Damon sends them over the top. Extra innings starts right now on Nesson.
Live from our Nesson studios, Extra Innings. Extra Innings is brought to you by Keyspan, putting more energy into life.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Extra Innings. Great to have you with us for Red Sox baseball tonight. Back to the old winning ways as the Red Sox, as we speak right now, Jimmy, they are in first place, tied with the Yankees, ahead of them in the loss column. The Bombers right now all tied up 7-7 with the Orioles. We'll keep you up to date on that. But right now, it's time for our Keyspan player of the game, and that is Johnny Damon. Tonight, Johnny only had the one hit, but it was a big one, the triple. With the bases loaded, he is tied for first in the American League with triples. He's first in runs, fourth in average. He's hitting .322. So Johnny Damon, our Keyspan player of the game. Please join Keyspan and Johnny in supporting the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston. Keyspan putting more energy into life, and our player of the game, Johnny Damon, down on the field right now with Tom Carey.
Johnny Damon is our Keyspan player of the game. Johnny, a big inning there, 6 runs in the 5th. This team has sort of been looking to put something like that together for the last 10 days or so. How big is it to get one tonight?
Oh, it's real big. I mean, we're too good of a team to be losing games like we have. I mean, we've been losing a lot of the close ball games, but, you know, we got Manny back. We have a new life, and we're making Carlos happy. We're finally able to play music in the clubhouse.
Talk about your bases loaded triple.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good at the plate right now. You know, I'm changing up a couple things because you have to constantly make adjustments. So I made an adjustment. I got a pitch down and in, and I was able to work it around the corner. And unfortunately, it was a big hit for us. Got us back in the game. And then Nomar came through with a big hit, and Manny. So it worked out great for us tonight.
A couple of big catches for you tonight. Talk about the one in the third going away on Cabrera.
You know, whatever makes the pitcher's job easier. I mean, that's what I'm out there for. That's why they got me, and hopefully I can continue to make good plays out there. But, you know, our job's not done. We need to keep going out and playing with great enthusiasm, and if we can do that, we're going to win a lot of ball games.
What gets you more pumped up? Great defensive play or a big hit at the plate?
Well, you know, it just depends when it happens. I mean, if it's a game saver, you definitely like to make that catch, but you also like to come up in a key situation. So I'll have to flip a coin on that one.
Get in there before the music plays, Johnny. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
That's Johnny Damon, our key span player of the game. Let's go back upstairs to Don and Jerry.
All right, Tom. Well, the Red Sox snapped the 4-game losing streak tonight with a victory over the Cleveland Indians, coming back and some hitting and some clutch hitting. But Pedro Martinez tonight picks up the win.
Now, first of all, Don, you know, prior to the game, all the writers are asking Grady Little, what's it going to take to get out of this offensive slump? Well, he doesn't really know. The answer is, you know, maybe one big hit, one big inning, and that's what happened tonight. The Red Sox had the beginning, and the big hit in that inning was by Johnny Damon, the triple to clear the bases. And you mentioned Pedro. You know, he didn't have his best stuff, but once he got the lead, he shut him down after that. And again, the bullpen was great. So a nice overall effort, stop that losing streak, and maybe that is the type of inning that can get the offense going.
Well, the Red Sox will try to take 2 out of 3 tomorrow night from the Cleveland Indians. That does it for us up here. Back to you guys down in the studio.
All right, Donnie, nice to say, too, the first place Boston Red Sox once again. As we mentioned, the Yankees tied up with the Orioles. We'll keep you up to date on that ball game. But, you know, Johnny Damon has been such a great acquisition for this team. He was already our key span player of the game. And as we talk about the turning point tonight, you have to talk about the play of Johnny Damon, Jim, because not just with the stick, not the big triple, but the glove, too.
He got a great jump on this ball and really attacked it. I love the way he goes after the ball. He thinks he's going to catch everything.
Plays very aggressive, and it's also, as a pitcher on the hill, you can be more aggressive when you know you have him out there.
You do. I didn't like to see the ball go to the outfield that much. I used to like to try to keep it in the infield, but it's nice to have a guy that can shag the ball when you make a mistake.
And then clutch with the triple. That pretty much gave the Red Sox the momentum as they go on to win the ball game tonight against the Cleveland Indians. 7-4 is the final score, and we'll keep an eye on that Yankee game. You're going to predict the Orioles comeback win, right?
Definitely.
Roger Clemens getting roughed up. We'll have highlights of that one a little bit later. Plus, Frank Castillo will be joining us in studio. We'll be talking about all the controversy with Frank a little bit later. It's 1-866. Ask Nesson. The phone lines now open.
Think it? Do it with Dodge Durango SXT. VA power at a price no other SUV can touch. Kicking CD sound system, big wheels and tires, and roof rack. All for just under $27,000. Better get it in gear. Now buy or lease a new Dodge Durango through Chrysler Financial and get a debit card for $500 worth of gas.
If your pool still isn't heated with natural gas, who do you expect to show up at your next pool party? Right now, Keyspan Energy Delivery is offering special summer savings on pool heaters, gas grills, and more. Convert your entire home to gas, and we'll even give you new heating equipment free. Call 1-800-755-4GAS today.
Jeep vehicles are known for capability, and now during the Jeep Challenge, we rule on a whole new level, starting with our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge on engines and transmissions. Plus, choose Grand Cherokee and get a $2,500 cash allowance, or financing as low as 0%. So take the Jeep Challenge. You'll see we're hard to beat.
Hey, you guys got to give me a head start next time.
Great products, great protection, great values. Take the Jeep Challenge. Get an additional $500 cash allowance on all Jeep vehicles.
Would you like any fries with that?
Allow me. Do you have mashed potatoes and gravy?
No, just fries.
Coleslaw?
Just fries.
Baked beans?
Nope.
Biscuits?
Nuh-uh, just fries.
Thank you. Gentlemen, let's go to KFC. I'll drive, you pay.
Get a 10-piece picnic feast with 10 pieces of original recipe chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes with gravy, a large coleslaw, and 6 baked biscuits, all for just $15.99.
You sitting on my biscuits, Clyde? There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Welcome back to Extra Innings, everybody. We're waiting for Frank Castillo. He will be up in a little bit. Plus, we'll hear from Red Sox manager Grady Little. We'll also hear from Pedro Martinez as he gets the win tonight. You know, Jimmy, last time out against San Diego, you thought maybe he turned a corner, and tonight gave up the long balls. But really, looking at the statistics, he really only gave up 5 hits. 3 of them were home runs, but still not all that bad tonight.
No, I thought he pitched well tonight. He got a good... He got some balls up to home run hitters, and they took advantage of it. They hit their home runs. A home run is just another way to score a run, so I don't even look at home runs. It's just another run.
You know, I've been very impressed with Pedro's innings of late. He had 8 innings against San Diego, 8 against Atlanta in the loss, and tonight, despite the home runs and despite what you'd say is a shaky start, he turned in 7 innings. So he's giving the Red Sox bullpen a chance to rest a little bit, which has been so key from his perspective the last several years. Well, not last year, but previous to that.
Yes, he's been an innings guy here. He's done that his whole career. And just when the team needed a little pick-me-up, he did enough to win the game, and that's what you needed.
And we talked before the break about Johnny Damon. He brings so much to the table, Jim, and tonight with the big triple, the great defense, you can't underestimate when you're in a slump like this, for players like that in clutch situations to turn it around, to come up with a big play, to say, hey, here we go, losing streak's over, we're going in this direction, and that's what he's been doing.
They rise to the occasion. Good players always rise to the occasion. He took advantage, you know, of a breaking ball that was left up, and he slapped it down the line and got a triple out of it.
All right, Red Sox manager Grady Little has to be a happy man. The losing streak is over. Here's your first look, brought to you by Bank North.
Good to see that offensive explosion.
No doubt about it. We've been looking for it for a little while now, but it was a good thing to see out there tonight. That felt good to shake hands after a game one time.
What do you think of Pedro tonight?
I thought Pedro was good. You know, he gave up a few home runs here in Fenway Park on with the flags blowing out, and that's going to happen. But he gave them up to some good hitters.
Trout's starting to come around against left-handed pitchers.
Trout's swinging the bat better, and he is making contact against those left-hand pitchers. And when you do that, you're swinging and making contact, you got a chance for some of those balls to find a hole. And we're certainly glad they did for his benefit and ours.
What do you say for the impact Damon has had on your club?
Talk about Johnny Damon's impact on this club.
Well, Johnny Damon makes things happen, and when he does make things happen, then we win. And it works in reverse too. When Johnny Damon doesn't make too much happen, sometimes we have a tough time getting things going offensively. Tonight, that hit he got there with the bases loaded to get that kid out of a jam out there was very big for us. But a little before that boy hit that triple, Brian Dahlbach hit a ball off that wall that was big, not only for him but this ball team.
Brady said it sometimes takes just one big inning, particularly where everyone contributes to get a team out of a funk.
So sometimes take one inning to get the team out of a funk.
Certainly, I think that's what we all look forward to when you're kind of been in a funk like we've been in, and hopefully we can carry it into tomorrow. We'll just keep working and hope things happen for the best.
That it? Wow.
Brady, what about Damon defensively as well?
What about Damon defensively as well?
I think that Johnny Damon, as well as Trot Nixon, sometimes they make some plays that you can't hardly believe. But like the one that sometimes we kind of probably take them for granted out there. But that running speed that he shows in center field, he covers a lot of ground, and he's getting used to the ballpark here in Fenway, and he's making some great plays.
Brady, with Johnny's speed on the bases, when he hit that ball to the right in that corner, it seemed to have been the perfect spot for him to lay that out into a triple. Were you thinking that's a triple as soon as he hit it?
Yeah.
What's Johnny's speed in the bases?
Well, with him running, to be honest with you, I wasn't paying that much attention to him because I just assumed it was a triple. I was watching Offie to make sure he could get around and score. And once I saw he could score, I figured Johnny was going to be in the third easy.
Brady, the Pedro-Wakefield combination has certainly been a factor for you this year. With Wakefield Wakefield's done a job behind him.
You talk about the Pedro-Wakefield combination?
Well, I don't really keep count of how many times a certain pitcher comes out of the bullpen behind a certain pitcher, but Wakefield has been very successful in that role in the 7th and 8th inning for us all season long, and he certainly was again tonight.
Comment on Jason Varitek?
Well, I think that our number one concern on Jason coming out of spring training was his ability to throw and to throw like he could before. And his offense, is something that takes a while to come back to, and he's coming back into form now, too, with that. He's a good hitter from both sides of the plate, I feel, and it looks like he's getting into a good groove now, too. But that missing as much time as he missed last year, it's hard to just jump right back in and everything be clicking on all cylinders. And the same as Manny coming back from the DL. It takes a while. Anything else?
Thanks.
Thank you.
First look with Red Sox manager Grady Little is brought to you by Bank North, home of the free checking. And, of course, the manager very happy tonight as Pedro Martinez improves to 9-2. Jim Corsi very happy tonight because your little girls, the little cuties at the ball game today. Let's go to the highlights. How do you get little girls that look like that? That's my big question. And they had dinner with us tonight. They had dinner with us tonight. They don't eat like Daddy, though, I'll tell you that. Pedro's on the hill. Ellis Burks at the plate. See ya. Home run number 12 of the season for Ellie. A 2-run blast. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Indians. Top of the 3rd inning. Tribe threatening against Pedro when Hobart Cabrera drives one into center. Johnny Damon, though, he's good. Runs it down, and then we'll make the fans' day by tossing him a souvenir. So good defense, too. Jim Thome then at the plate, and Jimmy, the home run ball was a problem tonight.
It was, but I'm not really bothered by it. He got some balls up, and they took advantage of it. These guys get paid to hit the ball, too.
And Jim Thome, wouldn't he look good in a uniform other than the Indians? If you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Home run number 21 on the season, the second allowed by Pedro in the game. Then at the top of the 5th inning, again, the ball up in the zone, Jim, and Ben Broussard makes him pay.
There's 3 of them that you saw up. They all went out of the park. Just shows you got to pitch down this league.
I like Pedro's toughness, though, tonight again. You know, he's shown the toughness. He's absolutely one of the toughest pitchers in the game. Then in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Red Sox start the comeback. Jason Varitek's on first when Brian Daubach, and how sweet does this look to see Dauber come out of the funk a little bit, tags the wall. Varitek scores from first base as the ball takes a weird carom, and the Sox are on the board. It's 4-1. Later in the inning, Nixon singled, Offerman walked to load the bases. Johnny Damon's at the plate. Johnny, we've seen him do this a lot this year, gets a pitch he likes, turns on it, down into the corner. Now, you know, he has the speed to touch 3, but does Offerman have the speed to score from first base? He does. He will score it. Clears them all. Daubach, Nixon, Offerman score. Johnny has the triple. We're tied at 4. A Nomar sacrifice fly scored Damon to make it 5-4, and then it's Manny's turn, and this is a good sight, too. Into left field, Carlos Baerga scores, and the Sox are up 6-4. We talk about Jason Varitek's return from the injury. He had a good night tonight. Obviously, usually has a good night behind the plate, but tonight shows the power, too. The other way, his 6th home run of the season. Good power for Varitek.
That's a great piece of hitting, taking the ball on the outside half of the plate and hitting where it's pitched.
And here we go to the 9th inning. Uki Urbina on, tying run at the plate, and they get the 3-6-1 game-ending double play. That's a nice defense. And
he did his job. He got over there as soon as he could.
Watch Carlos. Carlos had to tell Oogie, don't forget to point to skyward. And he
Say
did.
thank you to the guy upstairs.
Absolutely. Uki Urbina continues to get it done. And W is usually a W for the Red Sox.
I'll tell you, people don't understand how hard it is to pitch in that weather. Ryan Drease just ran out of gas. He pitched 4 great innings.
You always complain about the weather.
The weather, it was a little warm, and all of a sudden his tank was empty, and he was done.
Here's the box score. Varitek 2 for 4, scored a couple of runs. And Johnny Damon had just the 1 hit, but he had 3 big runs batted in. Daubach had a hit. Trot Nixon tonight. That was a nice sight, too. Nixon goes 3 for 4. The pitching, Pedro Martinez, Jimmy, only giving up 5 hits.
Yeah, he pitched great. And look at the walk column. No, everybody pitched great tonight.
And Wakefield, you know, we don't give him enough credit. I don't think people talk about it enough, but he has been so steady out of the bullpen for the Red Sox. His hits-to-inning ratio has been just tremendous. He's not giving up that many hits. And when you come out of the bullpen in that kind of game, you like to see that.
He's had a great knuckleball this year, but the biggest thing with it, he's been able to change speeds with his knuckleball and throw strikes with it. He's thrown a lot of strikes with his knuckleball, and it's a bonus.
Grady Little, by the way, saying that Tim Wakefield may get a start in that doubleheader. Most likely will get a start in that doubleheader against the Blue Jays. Frank Castillo has just walked in from the clubhouse. He'll be joining us next on Extra Innings. Stay with us.
Do you know you are 1 year old today?
First birthday.
Goodness. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Oh, that's good.
Let's open the present.
Okay, you want to go open the present? Let's see what we got here. Oh, look. What's in that box, Daddy? Oh, my goodness.
You got a big screen TV.
Where can you get the top 6 names in projection TVs? Where can you get great credit options? Where can you get a price match guarantee? Sears, where else?
It's Dirt Ball Mayhem. See metal crunch like cereal.
It's electrifying. It's extreme. It's rock boating.
So basically, it's 2 fat guys rolling cars. Hey, Jim?
Miles away from other light piers. Corona Light.
Jeep vehicles are known for capability, and now during the Jeep Challenge, we rule on a whole new level, starting with our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge on engines and transmissions. Plus now, qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can get a $298 a month lease on Jeep Liberty. So take the Jeep Challenge. You'll see we're hard to beat.
Hey, you guys got to give me a head start next time.
Great products, great protection, great values. Take the Jeep Challenge. See your New England Jeep dealer.
It's all right.
To find a great job in Greater Boston, go to the job site that specializes in Boston, bostonworks.com.
All right, Red Sox win tonight 7-4. Puts them into a temporary tie with the Yankees pending the outcome of the ball game in Baltimore. The Rocket, Roger Clemens, you may remember, got hit on the arm and a big bruise, big welt, but he's pitching tonight. Jorge Posada will snap a 4-4 tie in the 6th inning with his 11th home run of the season. But the Rocket tonight was tagged for 3 home runs, and he gets charged with 7 runs. This one will go to him as Brian Roberts greets Ramiro Mendoza with a double the other way. Mike Bordick scores as the Orioles go out in front 7-6. But the Yankees have been a comeback team this year. And they tied the game up at 7, and then with 2 outs and a man on for Rondell White, Willis Roberts will get him swinging to end the threat, and that's where we stand right now in the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-7, the Orioles and Yankees all tied up, and if it changes before we go off the air, we will let you know. And of course, tomorrow morning on Nesson Sports Desk, you always get
I'll be up for you.
I know Jimmy's always watching. Joining us now, Frank Castillo, who's having a good season for the Red Sox, but of late, Frank, it's been pretty emotional for you. The other night, we haven't seen that from Frank Castillo very much. What happened?
Yeah, I just got a little frustrated. He called the balk. I felt I didn't do anything. And I gave up the double and a run crossed and said something. And next thing you know, he threw me out and pretty much argued my case. And, you know, just didn't...
That's the video.
That's not a balk.
That's not a balk.
We looked at it several times. Not that I'm a pitcher, I'm on your side, and, you know, I'm rooting for you, but you didn't do anything. And this is actually a pretty good breaking ball first pitch.
Yeah, he went out and got it. And
sometimes you hit
bats. But Frank, after the hit now, the double, apparently you said that's your run, and that's when he tossed you.
Yeah, I never really said that. I never said, you know, that was your run. I said it was a weak call. And as soon as I said something, you know, he threw me out, and I figured I might as well get my money's worth.
By the way, did you get Nomar with the head there?
Yeah, I did. I was out of control. It's just, and I kind of woke up once I did that. I'm like, geez.
The umpire made it look worse than it was. He barely made contact with him.
Right.
Alex Rodriguez made contact with umpire way worse than that, and he's still playing.
Well, right now it seems like the Red Sox, when there's a disciplinary issue, the Red Sox seem to really get hit hard. You have the whole situation with Roger Clemens hitting Barry Bonds. Nothing happens to him. Your first suspension, clearly, I think if you had appealed that all the way through, you would have won it. What's your intention now with this one?
I'm going to appeal it. And, you know, I feel I was right. I feel like, you know, I was pleading my case. And when you're arguing, you're not exactly looking down at his feet. And so, you know, I happened to step on him. And I'm going to get suspended for that, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yes. Have you had any indication as from your agent or from the team whether you think you'd win that appeal, or?
Still early. I appealed yesterday, so I haven't really heard too much. But I imagine next couple of days I'll find out.
But they'll get
a
other
little bit
tapes. They'll get other tapes of other incidents that have happened, and they'll compare it to that.
Well, that's what he has in his favor. That's the block again. You were pitching so well in that ball game too, and it had to be so frustrating to have it happen. Here it is again. Watch it again. Now, the point that Jimmy and I made that night on the airframe was it looked like you were also stepping back at the time, too. Now, you can't start to come to a set and then stop because that would be a balk, but you start to come to a set and you stop and you're moving your leg back at the same time, that would negate any balk call. Is that what you thought? What was your thought process when you heard the balk call?
I just couldn't believe it because I was in one motion, and as soon as I put my leg out, then, you know, the play's over and done with.
Here it is. See, that's what I thought, exactly what you just said.
It wasn't like I paused and went back down. It was just clear, you know, I stepped off.
That's unbelievable. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, it really is. Well, you know, let's
get off the block.
Let's talk about how great of a year he's having. You really are pitching well for the team, especially in the beginning of the season where you were really your hits to inning ratio was really strong. But overall, despite the win-loss record, it's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I can pitch better. You know, yesterday I got off to a a slow start and you know, kept the team in the game. But you know, I totally feel I can do better, and you know, I just need to get on a little roll or something.
He has been pitching well. He had a couple tough losses at the beginning of the year. Your record could be flip-flopped very easily. You know, I think you've been pitching great, and I think you've been pitching with a lot of heart.
Thanks. It's just, like I said, once I got out of the first inning, I think I'm all right. But that first inning, you know, has been giving me problems this year. So
you got to pretend you're a relief pitcher and coming in the 8th inning, and or the 9th inning in the save situation.
Let me ask you this, Fred. What's it like to pitch for Grady Little? Because I think he's the kind of manager that if I were a pitcher, and Jimmy says that there's no way that could ever happen, but if I were a pitcher, I'd want to pitch.
Ability, don't you?
I'd want to pitch for him because it seems like he really sticks by you, lets you work out of your jams, where with Jimmy Williams, it's kind of a story right now in Houston because he has that quick hook. Kind of frustrating before when you were pitching for him, but now it has to give you a little more confidence.
Yeah, it's awesome pitching for Grady and Tony. You know, they have confidence in you, and you get in a jam early in the game, they let you get out of it. And maybe last year, you know, they didn't give me that opportunity, but it definitely gives you confidence, and they let you work your way out of it. And like I said, it gives a tremendous confidence.
What do you think about the strike zone? You've been playing for a while now. How do you think the strike zone's changed? I noticed that when you're pitching, it seems like he's getting a lot of calls that just aren't going your way.
Yeah, I've noticed, like, where they used to give you like a little bit outside and a little bit off the plate, it seems like they're giving more of the height than the width. So I think that's probably the biggest, you know, the biggest
It's where we don't
change.
want to pitch. We don't want to pitch.
We don't need that
we want to pitch on the corners.
Yeah, exactly. We want to be on the corners, and you know, like I said, they've been given the high pitch, and that's what I don't need.
Yeah.
How much are you working and thriving off of what everybody else is doing right now with Derek Lowe and Pedro's pitching well, and John Burkett's done well, and you've pitched well as well? How are you guys feeding off of each other?
It's great. I mean, you know, like D'Lo's been throwing excellent, and Pedro's Pedro, and Berkey doing a great job, and so you feed off it. You want to.
Welcome to baseball tonight. That's Randy Johnson. Mike McFarland, Jason Stark, and Carl Ravitch here. He is 5-0 with 3 no decisions, pitching after an Arizona loss this year. Oh, no. Richard Hidalgo. Foul.
97. He's going to snap hook that one a little bit out in front of the fastball. Let me come back.
Brad Osmus. Somebody's got a no-hitter going. It's the unit. Bottom 6, 1 out, no one, and it's Greg's on. Oh,
Reach out and touch someone.
That's what happens when you put that channel on right away. Single, no-hitter, broken up. Leave the remote where it was. Oh, 3-hitter for Randy.
Can you believe that's the 19th time Randy has had a no-hitter through 5 innings, according to Jeff Bennett?
Wade Miller, 5 innings, 7 hits, and 6 earned runs. Welcome, folks. Obviously abbreviated this evening. The theme will be family, at times working in perfect harmony, together to help heal open wounds like we saw in St. Louis today, and at times somewhat dysfunctional, like we saw last night in San Diego between the Giants and the Padres, and in particular between Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent. They're back at it, and in fact, the series shifts to San Francisco. A little conflict later this season with a Charger game. So Trevor's on the mound. Bonds wants a chance to pinch hit. He wasn't playing on the day after the night game. Santiago to left, one on for the Giants. J.T. Snow, a little bloop single to left. So the Giants got 2 on. GM Brian Sabian said late today, if we got anything out of yesterday's pushing and shoving match, if it lit a fire, well, so be it. And they showed a little fire in this game. Bonds a strike, Coast pitch, ball 1. Barry in a pinch hitting role in a perfect spot. Hoffman in the 3-1 hole. Ball 4.
Didn't even take the bat off his shoulder.
You'd rather face Bernard, right? Wrong. Marvin Gardens, double. And watch this. Bonds knew how far it was going to go. He's chasing J.T. Snow. Get over there. Hurry up. 1 in. 1 out.
Tom Lampkin had multiple choice there at the plate.
Giants down 5-4. Barry's so used to hitting balls out there, he knows when it's not going to get caught.
Watch the arm on the relay throw here, but Tom Lampkin, you said it, Jason, had the decision, kept his eye on the ball the entire way. You have to know both guys are bearing down on you. Who do you pick?
Where were you 17 years ago? And Carlton's fist touched them both.
Idle.
There's a play McFarland never made, I bet.
Got that right.
David Bell goes down. Hoffman gets him. 2 outs. Giants down a run. Dusty ain't looking. Why? Shawan Dunston. Let him fight. He beats the throw by Davey Cruz. Safe at first. Tied at 5. Huge comeback by the Giants. Blown save for Hoffman. He then gets Ricciarelli to fly out to center. Cott stays there. Let's play extras. Bottom 12, J.T. Snow, Rodney Myers. You can't go there with men on second and third. Bus in 45. Good win for the San Francisco Giants, who are now 5-0 in extra innings.
And who was on deck at the time?
Barry. Naturally. And there was no fighting between Kent and Bonds today. Roll the update machine here. Oh, I'll take a 7 and 7, and we have one at Camden Yards. Willie Roberts, Giambi, down and hard. Wow, the Orioles have played the Yankees tough. 10 games so far they played this season. The O's have won 5, and the Yankees have won 5. We'll keep you posted, folks, as the O's come up in the bottom of the 9th. In St. Louis today, a very, very powerful message sent by the baseball family about just how special a person Darryl Kile was. About 5,000 people made their way to Busch Stadium, including several Major League players, coaches, and managers who took red-eye flights to be a part of the service.
In our grief, Father, we're thankful. And we thank you for the life of Darryl Kile. And we're thankful for how he touched each of our lives. Some saw a baseball player. Others of us were fortunate enough to call him friend. Lord, we lift up Darryl's family at this time. And we especially pray for Flynn, Sierra, Cannon, and Riker. As a pitcher, DK had a remarkable career. I was in the dugout for his greatest start ever. I can remember it like it was yesterday. How I felt for the last 2 innings for DK's no-hitter. I've never wanted something for someone so much. Each out got the crowd roaring louder and louder. And when that last nasty curveball was thrown, I just screamed and ran. DK just smiled and raised his right arm. We mobbed him on the mound. Darryl also loved his golf. No one could hit a golf ball further than Darryl. His big joke was that his ball was taking aerial photos of ours as it flew over. Well, Darryl, I know you're taking aerial photos of us now.
Darryl always took the ball. So when you guys go out and play tonight, in your own way, take the ball. Everybody that knows who I'm talking about knows that was Darryl.
The ceremony lasted just about an hour. The Cardinals have organized a fund which ultimately will help youth baseball in St. Louis. On deck here, the Mets. Their left-handed bats gave Tom Glavine tough time all night, but it was another lefty who played a more vital role. We'll look at the day's defensive excellence, folks, an early helping of your web gems. And the conventional wisdom is stop Socia, stop the Cubs. Jimmy Haynes tried. Was he successful?
Introducing the Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. A whole new way to paint.
one touch lets you control the paint. The exclusive Smooth Flow system makes painting neat, quick, easy. The amazing Wagner Quick Touch for professional results fast. The Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller, a faster way to paint. Your mama always told you to eat your spinach, but it's your papa who will finally get you to love it. Introducing Papa John's Spinach Alfredo Pizza, made with a creamy garlic Parmesan sauce. Or try our new 6-cheese specialty pizza, a gourmet blend of 6 delicious cheeses. Right now, order a large Spinach Alfredo or 6-cheese pizza for $10.99 and get 2 20-ounce Coca-Cola products absolutely free. Also, register to win a new Jeep Liberty Sport in our Liberty Tour sweepstakes. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Having quadruplets, we have a very busy schedule, so we shop for everything at Walmart. We get our tires here, too. I can leave the car there for an oil change, new tires, and go shopping. When you're picking out a tire, you need a name brand that you trust, and Walmart carries those, and I know I can trust their prices. We can get our car serviced, get all their toys, and still be home in time for lunch and nap. We have a little sticker on the back of our car that says quadruplets on board. I don't trust my children with just anybody because it's precious cargo.
On July 9th, 2 leagues of superhumans, the best of the best, will battle to prove which league is greater. See all-stars like Bonds, Johnson, Piazza, A-Rod, Saxon, Pedro, Ichiro, Jeter, and Sosa. It's a superhuman showdown. Watch the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, July 9th. Don't miss it.
Coming up on SportsCenter, it's draft night in the NBA. How will the top picks help their new teams, and how long will it take? And we'll update the A's as they look to make it 17 W's in 18 tries. Join me, Scott Van Pelt, and Linda Cohn, 11 Eastern.
One lap in the cube is all it takes. Of course, the critics insisted on a few more. The 340 horsepower Q45 from Infiniti.
Baseball Tonight is brought to you by your neighborhood 7-Eleven store. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold down easy.
You're watching Baseball Tonight, April 12th. Last time Jason Beret won a game he started, taking on a Reds team. It's been hot and cold. First pitch of the game. This is hot. Smoking hot. Todd Walker, 4th of the year, 1-0 Reds. 2 batters later, they're swinging big sticks. Adam Dunn. He's sitting on 14 home runs, and we can add another one. Checkbook says 15, 2-0 Cincinnati. Oh, the old temps are starting to rise. Top 3, 5-2 Reds. Humidor's not working anywhere, folks. Sean Casey off the right knee of Jason Beret. Down goes Beret. Take another look and listen. Ouch. Ball, bone. Oh. Severe bruise on that knee. Bottom 4, 5-2. The pinch hitter is Angel Echeverria. Deep into the hole. Larkin is there. Long throw.
Are you kidding me?
That would be spelled W-E-B-G-E-M. Todd Hundley. Swing and a drive. Admiring. Saying something to the ball. He's saying sit. No, go. Go. Sit. Go. Gone. Todd Hundley then he used that sign language thing there. 1 on, 1 out. Pinch hitter Darren Lewis to third. Aaron Boone. 2 outs.
The strong arm, the reactions of Aaron Boone. Look how quick he gets to his feet. Bazooka Joe.
They've talked about Aaron Boone playing shortstop if Barry Larkin can't go.
8-6, your final score here. Sean Casey's got 5, and Encarnacion hit his 14th, went 1 for 5. I don't think the Texas Rangers are going to lose again this year. That's what the Oral Hershiser effect is on this club. Pitching's been better. Pudge Rodriguez, exit stage right.
Ball does carry to the wall. It is gone!
Mike Scioscia is shaking his head because A-Rod has just hit a home run. It is now 6-2, 23 and 63 for A-Rod, folks. Last check, we haven't played the All-Star game yet. Ortiz has allowed 25 home runs. All right, let's check on the game that you just saw. Most of you, the Braves and the Mets, Tommy on the hill, and Maurice.
Those left-handers just stay in so well off of Glavin. Just trust their hands.
Mo's got 8 career at-bats off Glavin at this point. This is his 3rd homer.
Well, he's been working with Chris Chambliss. It paid off. Next batter, Jay Payton, swing and a drive. Center field. If Andrew Jones can't get there, nobody can.
Now, what do you ask yourself after a start like this? Back-to-back homers off Tom Glavin? When's the last time that happened? Well, you can tell it was a while ago.
Look at
this
hair.
man was at the plate. The Cruxter. June 24th, 1994. I was at the game.
Gonna say you had to be there.
That was the first half of the Daily Double. The second half of the Quinella. Inky.
Dinky.
Dong.
What happened to these men?
Got their hair cut, for one thing.
Tom Glavin's still doing it better than ever.
Here's Javi Lopez against Shaw. And Lopez is ready to snap his bat over his knee. How about running it out? He stood there.
How about the collision? Mo didn't budge too much on that one.
Look at Edgardo. No, I just bounced off you, man. I'm coming at you, some body blows.
Just minor bruises.
Look at Ordonez getting
released.
involved. This is Kent Bonds all over again. Full count for a Cal. Estes misses ball 4. Estes bitter. We've seen a bat nearly broken over a leg. Sean's all fired up. And here's Gary Sheffield. With men on the corners. That's a double play, but the run scores. We're tied at 2. I still can't believe Lopez stood there and watched that ball. Look at Estes' angst. Some history in the 6th. Glavin, Payton, hee-haw. Career strikeout number 2,000 for Tom Glavin. He wasn't thinking about that here. Tied at 2, loaded Sheffield. Strickland. Oh, it is a grand slam. 6-2 Braves. Mo. Boom.
Oh, my goodness.
They were ready to kill Mo about half an inning earlier.
Hit his knee.
He's alive again. Born on this date, Mo's back. Not seen was a misplay, by the way, by Vaughn in that inning that Sheffield hit the grand slam.
Yeah, but the good news is, first multi-homer game since May 20th of 2000 against the Royals. I bet McFarland was at the game.
I called the pitches, I'm sure.
So you're saying big picture as opposed to...
Right. Big picture is the way to go.
All right, I'm a big picture guy. Atlanta's won 7 of their last 8. Uh-oh. The O's have the Yanks number. Steve Carsey's on the hill. Man on second, Tony Batista. Oh, it got by Ventura. We are going to have a play at the plate. Matthews Jr. is safe. There is no play. Throw from left field, well short. The O's now lead the season series 6-5.
The scrappy Orioles.
They are tough. Yanks going to be real happy to get the heck out of Baltimore. You'll be able to see the Mets and Yankees battle Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, folks. Don't forget a Baseball Tonight All-Star Selection Special comes your way before that. 7 to 8, we unveil the All-Stars right here.
Cool to the core.
You've got mail.
Know what you call someone who pays double for internet access? An AOL user.
You've got a choice.
There's only one internet. Why pay double to get it? NetZero gives you the internet for less than half the price of AOL. Only $9.95 a month. And you can download NetZero in just 2 minutes. NetZero. Get the access without the excess. Call 877 only $9.95 or visit netzero.com.
Lottie-dottie, we likes to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just some men that's on the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic right. For all of y'all, keeping y'all in the help.
See you smile and enjoy yourself, cause it's cool when you cause a cozy condition that we create, cause that's our mission. So listen to what we say,
cause this type of thing happens every day.
The ESPN.com players.
Where's the chaos?
Should be right here.
It looks like you got the wrong information.
Now when it comes to sports, because I got Insider on ESPN.com. I get exclusive news first, then in-depth analysis, and 300 links to sports stories.
300 links!
I guess Insider is a mountain of information.
Baseball Tonight is brought to you by Stolichnaya Citrona Premium Malt Beverage. Tonight, we drink Citrona.
We're back on Baseball Tonight. Homering in the same game, teammates since '97. The latest to do it, Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent. That was yesterday. They've done it 34 times. Andrew and Chipper have matched them. Today was a huge comeback for the Giants. And again, Brian Sabean saying if this led to that today, more power to the San Francisco Giants. Tonight at midnight, folks, we'll discuss what, if anything, the Giants should do to calm the flames. Or do they just let it burn out itself? That's at midnight Eastern on Baseball Tonight. All right, 5 Red Sox. Pedro 8-2 with a 2.92 ERA is going to be better than that because the offense has disappeared. Ellis Burks, good night.
High deep drive, left field. That's way back.
Member of the Red Sox years ago. Pitch up in the zone. That's his 12th 2-zip tribe. Top 3, they're empty, but Jorge Cabrera hits one into the right center field gap. Nixon nowhere to be found. Oh, Johnny Damon. And Pedro waiting. High five.
Much love.
4th inning.
Yeah, next time Ellis Burks comes up the bat. First time up, we saw Ellis get out in front of one of those cutters. Well, Pedro turns it up a notch. Look at the difference in the elevation. Works the ball down in the strike zone and starts changing speeds. Early in the game, didn't really see much of the nasty changeup or the hard breaking ball. That's the first nasty one he threw all night in the 4th inning. And then good night on that yak.
4th inning, hats off, James Tomei.
This is far.
This was supposed to bring rain, and it did. Grandstands. That's a shock. 3-0 Indians. 2nd consecutive game. Tomei homers. After popping out Tomei, Nomar, bat, helmet, anything else you can find, rack. Top 5 empty. Ben Broussard, swing and a drive. His first career home run.
Yeah, and he's the 3rd player in history to hit his first career homers off Pedro, except 2 of them are this month, because Ramon Santiago also did it.
Remember that. Red Sox get to Ryan Drease in the 5th. Johnny Damon down the right field line. Brian Daubach, come on down. Trot Nixon, plate work. Jose Offerman, he scores. A 3-run triple for Damon. It's tied at 4. Johnny Damon's been the best player on the team this season. Same inning, 5-4. Chad Toronto pitching. Manny Ramirez on the ground and through. Carlos Baerga scores 6-4 Red Sox. In the 9th, Indians 2 on, 1 down. You got to bring in the U-boat, and Ugueth Urbina gets Milton Bradley to submarine 1 down to first. 3-6-1 double play. Urbina, Baerga, all fired up. Oh, we have contact.
That was fun.
That's as close a team as I've seen in Boston in a long time.
That 2-run homer that Pedro allowed, only the 7th homer he's allowed with a man on base in 94 starts last 3 years.
He's 8-1 in 12 career starts against Cleveland. When we come back, folks, the Gems, brought to you by Aaron Boone and everyone else splashing the leather. You stay with us. Baseball Tonight allows you to watch the bottom line during the commercials as well.
Promise you'll call me?
I will. I promise.
Wherever you are, whatever you do, Allianz with its partners is the power beside you.
Warning. This movie is so exhilarating, it can only be seen exclusively in IMAX theaters and other large format cinemas.
Yeah, I like that.
ESPN's Ultimate X, rated PG, now playing.
The ESPY's in Hollywood. Come on!
It's so much fun.
It's the 10th annual ESPY Awards, hosted by Samuel L. Jackson, with live performances by Snoop Dogg, Bootsy Collins, the original P-Funk, and Carlos Santana. Wednesday, July 10th, 9 p.m. on ESPN.
Few careers match the excitement and earning potential of selling television advertising. Adelphia Media Services, a leader in cable television advertising, is looking for energetic and enthusiastic sales professionals to join our team. If you're success-oriented and have a dynamic personality, maybe you should be in television, selling ads on America's premier cable networks. For more information on this exciting opportunity, call our regional office at the following number.
You already know Adelphia as your cable provider, but did you also know that we're dedicated to your complete satisfaction? We're working hard to train our staff to be the very best in the industry to make sure that you are satisfied each and every time you need us. We have not completed our job until we've met this goal 100% of the time. We simply cannot accept anything less, and neither should you. Adelphia, your complete satisfaction is our guarantee.
Next Wednesday night.
Wow, 14 innings, a big win, and we've got the lucky fan here who caught the game-winning home run ball. So, what's it feel like?
Oh, it's amazing. The ball came in, boom, right off the seat next to me. Told you should have stayed, Brian. Yeah, Brian! It was so cool!
Well, I guess that's why you never leave the game early.
The night is full of choices. Choose wisely.
Should I stay or should I go now?
Stolichnaya Citrona Premium Malt Beverage. Tonight, we drink Citrona.
Oh, yeah, roll something and take everything, because we're playing. Baseball tonight, White Sox and Twins. The hitting coach filling in for manager Ron Gardenhire. It's scoreless when Carlos Lee takes Kyle Loesch out.
Check out the fan.
He dropped his scrapbook.
He's trying to catch a ball with a scoreboard.
Bobby Kelty, two-run shot. Todd Ritchie, Kelty's 5th home run this year. Twins lead up by a score of 2-1. And Scott Alger's sitting there is going to be pretty delighted. Corey Koski, that's a single, drives in Christian Guzman. Twins lead at 3-1. Wasn't the best pitching performance by Ritchie, who struggled recently.
Todd Ritchie, 1-7 in his last 9 starts. Just can't get on top of the fastball. He needs this ball right in the hit-me zone. And Corey Koski hits it. Later in the inning, bases loaded. Leaves another fastball up. Boom. Keelty. Hefty bag.
Oh, truck me.
2 runs will score. 5-1 Twins.
Kelty, he's swinging the bat. You know. That was fairly well hammered.
Well, look at the location of these pitches, Carl. This is what these guys get paid to hit.
Well, here's another one. Lee. Boom. Kyle Loesch, he had 3 good starts, won them all, then he had 3 duds, so he's due for a good one here. White Sox down 5-2. Carnac in a 6-2 game. Oh, I think we'll see Corey Koski in a web, Jim. Inning is over. Top 7, Lee, 1 on. Not again. Oh, that's a knee buckler. Look at the bat. Did he chew that bat at the bottom of the handle there? Kelly once stuck Mankiewicz. Howery then hits Hunter in the ribs. Oh!
Between these two.
Cooler heads.
They've only got 16 games left after tonight.
Jock Jones. LaTroy Hawkins gets Valentin swinging. The inning is over. But the White Sox rally is not. They got, wow, all sorts of men on base. It is now 6-4, folks. And we'll let you know what happens there. As we go to break, this just happened. In a 6-4 game, it was a walk. Sent Ray Durham to first. So they're loaded. Eddie Guardado's going to deal with Frank Thomas, folks. We'll be back.
Hi, how can I?
Yes, I'd like a set of Michelin cross-terrain SUV tires with white lettering, please.
Now at Sears Auto Center, we're having the biggest Michelin sale of the year at America's car care place. Sears, where else?
Own the best picture of the year, A Beautiful Mind. Russell Crowe stars as a man whose life is full of secrets, danger.
I got myself into something.
And mystery.
It didn't happen.
Own A Beautiful Mind on video and DVD today.
New Trident White. Smile brighter. You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that need new Castrol GTX high mileage. It protects against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. New Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
This burger's definitely different than anything I've had before.
2 patties.
But the meat, I think, is really what stands out.
Yeah, it feels like a real hamburger like we made it.
That was a delicious burger.
We just barbecued it up.
Introducing the new BK Homestyle Griller, one of 2 new back porch grillers from Burger King.
If I'm getting ready for a big fight, you know, my friends might say, you know, I'm going to come up on the weekend and hang out with you. You know, some of them have to drive a ways, you know what I'm saying? And if you had a little bit too much to drink, if you had a few too many Miller Lights, you know, make sure that, you know, you call a taxi up and say, you know, hey, yo, I'm a little faded. Why don't you come pick me up? If you're going to drink, make sure you drink responsibly. It's a lot better than losing your own life or taking somebody else's.
Coming up on SportsCenter, it's draft night in the NBA. How will the top picks help their new teams, and how long will it take? And we'll update the A's as they look to make it 17 W's in 18 tries. Join me, Scott Van Pelt, and Linda Cohn, 11 Eastern.
Baseball Tonight is brought to you by Stolichnaya Citrona Premium Malt Beverage. Tonight, we drink Citrona.
We went to break with Frank Thomas coming to the plate with the bases loaded against Guardado. 5 for 8 in his career with 2 homers. That's not a home run, but it's enough to do some damage. Kenny Lofton rounds third. He puts the brakes on.
Gotta send him, don't you?
You gotta send him. Well, Magglio Ordonez is up, and with the bases loaded, he only totes a .347 average. The count now 2-2. We'll take a look at the defensive plays before we let you know what Ordonez does. These are the web gems. These are the rated PG ones because we do it again at midnight and they really get down and dirty.
Around the horn.
Look at Alomar lunging catch off Julio Franco's liner. At short, Barry Larkin. This is a ridiculous throw.
He's still backpedaling and has enough to get it. That's Barry.
Gone. Here's Jose Hernandez, who had a good day at the plate, doing the same here. Edmonds.
Did he be the all-star shortstop? What do you think, Carl?
National League?
Yeah.
Go with Sexton on that one.
They're going to take Ricky Sexton out of that team. Alfonso Soriano to third, Batista. You go Jimmy Rollins, then you go Jose Hernandez.
Okay, yeah. I'm with that.
Even better at third, A.B. All business for Aaron Boone.
Now, Barry Larkin had to leave this game with some muscle spasms in his shoulder and back. Do not be shocked if you see Aaron Boone at shortstop.
Out to the outfield. This one a fly to right center, and Johnny Damon of the Red Sox was all over the map in this game. One great catch here. He also had another one later. Finally in right, Albert Pujols of the Cards hits one. Alex Ochoa coming on hard. Nice diving catch. Those are your early web gems. How about the balls that left the buildings? Oh, scream for A-Rod. Texas.